A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
Pepsi-Cola, P-E-P-S-I, that's your smartest cola buy. Pepsi-Cola presents Counterspy.
Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy. Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy.
Harding, Counterspy, calling Washington.
United States Counterspies, especially appointed to investigate and combat the enemies of our country, both at home and abroad.
Tonight, the case of the Statue of Death. Another Counterspy report to the American people. Brought to you each Tuesday and Thursday by Pepsi-Cola.
Pepsi-Cola, hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot.
That's right, you heard what they said. 2 full glasses of sparkling Pepsi from one big 12-ounce bottle. You're getting an extra glassful. And what a delicious glassful. The most refreshing, delightful cola that ever tickled your taste. You can't top Pepsi's tangy flavor, and that big, big bottle saves you money, goes twice as far. Pepsi is America's big, big favorite, and America's biggest cola value. So why take less when Pepsi is best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
Why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now to Counterspy. Over the hills of Tennessee, the late afternoon sun was low on the horizon. A young chemist stood on the grounds of the world's largest atomic plant. Its grounds protected by high fences, its gates guarded by the latest scientific devices. As the young man walked along the grounds inside the main gate, he bent over and picked up a little gray cat.
Hello, Kitty. How's Mildred? Mouse catching business pretty good, eh, Mildred?
Hey, Pop!
Huh?
Look out for that dog outside the gate.
Oh, Mildred, here he comes. Easy, Mildred. Now, don't jump down. That collar will take your head off. I lost you. Now you're in for a fight. Here, boy. Leave that cat alone. Come here. Come here, boy. Come here. Now, let's see your collar. Let's see your collar. What's your name, huh? Ah, Tommy, huh? A beautiful collar you are, Tommy. Yes, sir. Fine head, good long, thick coat. Ah, your master's whistling for you, Tommy. That man outside the gate, he's going to scold you for running in here. Go to him, Tommy. Go to him, boy.
Tommy, some more emery paper.
Yeah. Mr. Morton, you're working on that little statue of St. Cecilia like you was Michelangelo and Angelo.
I certainly didn't hire you because you had brains, Stubby. It's Michelangelo.
Here's your emery paper.
How does the statue look?
It's okay if you like antiques.
You'd never guess there's a vial of uranium compound worth $500,000 hidden in the neck, would you?
$500,000? I'd like to kiss it.
Well, kissing is all right. But keep this stuff close to you long enough, and you'll become radioactive and die. Don't you ever touch this statuette without a pair of these special gloves.
I won't even kiss it. But, Mr. Martin, them foreign guys you're in touch with, will they pay off in their own dough or good old United States greenbacks?
Stubby, you and I have lived in this dinky town 50 miles from the atomic plant for 2 years, planning and working. Finally, success. We're going to be paid plenty in United States greenbacks.
That was a slick stunt, all right, getting this uranium compound out of the gate and stuck in the dog's long hair with adhesive tape.
Yeah. The dog was so low and ran so fast, even the Geiger counter at the gate didn't register.
Boy, I done good when I hooked up with you, Mr. Morton. You got more brains than all them bank heisters and counterfeiters I ever worked with. But now we got this stuff, Mr. Morton. How do we get the statue out of the country?
You'll never guess, Stubby. Or will anybody else?
Yeah. Have to be some way like nobody ever thought of, huh?
Remember every Sunday the past 2 months, I drove over to that mountain resort 100 miles west?
So?
At the big hotel, there's a certain guest I've been studying. A wealthy Mexican gentleman named Juan Sotillo. About 47, good character, and very religious.
Yeah?
He's visiting over at the resort, but his home is in Acapulco, Mexico. It's a famous beach resort.
Beach resort, huh?
And an ideal place for us to catch a ship for Europe.
Say, maybe we could stay a while there.
Stay a while. Our theft of the uranium compound will be discovered any minute. We've got to get it to Acapulco fast. And that's where the Mexican gentleman, Senor Sotillo, is going to help us.
Oh, I don't get you.
Now, we're going over to visit him, Stubby. Get the car. I'll tell you more on the way. Only about 10 miles more to the hotel where Senor Sotillo is staying, Stubby.
And what do we do then, Mr. Morton?
Every evening, about dusk, he walks along the shore of a little lake in back of the hotel. There are rowboats on the lake. I'm going to be rowing in one of them.
Oh, look, I hate rowing.
You won't be with me, Stubby. I want something to happen so this statue of St. Cecilia will mean a great deal to him, so that he won't part with it under any conditions.
Look, Mr. Morton, you hired me to help you. I've been with you 2 years, most of the time with my mouth hanging open to what you do. Why don't you explain to me about the boat and stuff?
You'll see this evening, Stubby. But no matter what happens, don't come to me in the boat. That's what I want Senor Sotillo to do. Walking on the lake shore, right on schedule. Now's the time.
Help! I can't swim! Help! Hold on to the boat! Help! Hold on to the boat!
Yes, senor?
Mr. Sotillo, I'm the man you saved from drowning last evening.
Oh, yes. Senor Morton, come in, please.
Yeah. Senor Sotillo, I brought you a gift of appreciation. Let me show it to you.
Senor, it's beautiful.
A statue of St. Cecilia. It belonged to my mother before she died. Please take it.
No, Senor Morton. I could not accept such a beautiful gift.
But you saved my life. I want you to have it. I insist.
Well, I will cherish it, Senor. I realize how dear it must be to you.
Senor Sotillo, are you staying in the States?
No, I am starting for my home in Acapulco, Mexico, tomorrow. I am driving down.
I'll be happy to know, sir, that my statue of St. Cecilia will be going with you.
Thank you, Mr. Morton. And vaya usted con Dios. In English, one would say, may God be with you. Elena!
Juan Sotillo! Oh, Juan, I've been waiting here at the mission all afternoon.
It is a long drive here from Tennessee, Elena. And I have 500 miles more to drive to my home.
Juan, I hoped perhaps this time you would stay.
Elena, I promised you that while I was in the States, I would think about us and come to a decision.
I love you very much, Juan.
I love you very much too, Elena. But listen and try to understand.
You know I'll do whatever you say.
Your father is a fine man, a proud man. And you are all he has left. I, too, in my way, am a proud man. And I know he does not want you to marry me.
But we will tell him my life does not belong to him anymore. It belongs to you.
Elena, I am much older than you. Your father wants you to be the wife of a younger man. And because I am older than you, I know something you do not. If you defy your father, he will die of bitterness and shame. And you could never forgive yourself or me.
Juan, you are a fine man. There is no other man like you.
Elena, I have something in the car here. Something I want you to have.
A statue of St. Cecilia.
Given to me by a man whose life I saved. It was very dear to him. What better could I do than give it to the one I love as our parting present?
Juan, I will keep it at the head of my bed always. I will never part with it. I shall pray every morning and night that she will watch over you and protect you.
Goodbye, Elena.
Goodbye, Juan. Goodbye, Juan. I love you forever.
Mr. Sotillo.
Huh? What are you doing here in my patio?
Don't you recognize me, Mr. Sotillo?
Senor Morton. The man whose life I saved in Tennessee.
And this is Stubby, a man who works for me.
Hi. How do you do?
Mr. Sotillo, that statuette of St. Cecilia I gave you in the States. I need it back.
I do not have it.
Where is it?
I'm sorry, but I cannot tell you.
Why can't you tell us?
I cannot say that either.
Maybe this gun will make you think a little differently. Mr. Sotillo, if you don't want to be shot right this minute, walk out front to our car. Sotillo, can you hear me? Again, I ask you. Where's that statuette?
I will not tell you.
Okay, Stubby. Some more.
Yeah. You know, Morton, this guy can't take it no.
Hold it, Stubby. Senor Sotillo, listen to me. The reason you won't say where that statue of St. Cecilia is it because you might hurt somebody if you did?
Yes.
Now we're getting somewhere. Who is that person?
I would never tell. Not if you beat me for 100 years.
Does that person have the statuette?
Yes.
Listen, Sotillo. I gave you that statuette so you'd bring it down here to Acapulco. I knew, with your reputation, no one would suspect you. But hidden in that statue is $500,000 worth of a certain uranium compound.
What?
The statue is not lead. If anyone has it who doesn't know how to handle it, that person will become radioactive and die.
Senor, you try to frighten me with lies.
You have read of the effects of the atom bomb, the radioactivity which has caused death.
I will go and get the statuette.
Tell me where it is and we'll get it.
No. And you must promise not to follow me.
All right, I promise.
On your word of honor?
Yes, on my word of honor.
I must drive 500 miles. I will stop now.
500 miles?
Help me to my feet. I will be back in 3 days. On my arm.
You better hurry.
Yes. I must hurry. I must.
Back to Counterspy in a moment. But first,
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lot more value, lot more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
more and more, among fellows and girls, among mothers and dads, you hear that sane and sensible question, why take less when Pepsi is best? No budget, no allowance ever had a better friend than tangy, sparkling Pepsi-Cola. Because one big 12-ounce Pepsi bottle gives you 2 delicious drinks. That's twice as much tangy taste, twice as much delicious Pepsi to go just twice as far. That's why more and more families say, why take less when Pepsi is best? Yes, families like yours and mine, families all over America, they're all saying, why take less when Pepsi is best?
Pepsi-Cola so delicious, and each bottle makes 2 drinks. It is certainly the cola for the purchaser who thinks everybody's drinking Pepsi. Does compare it with the rest. So much more and so much finer. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
Today, tomorrow, always. Get America's biggest cola value. Take home a carton of 6 big Pepsi bottles. Insist on Pepsi at the store. And say Pepsi at the fountain. Say Pepsi at the stand. Say Pepsi. Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now, back to Counterspy. In the dim main room of a luxurious Mexican hacienda, 2 men tensely face each other.
Senor Sortillo, I must ask you to leave my house at once.
Senor Fuentes, I beg of you to let me see your daughter.
I will not.
You are right to be angry. But believe me, I would not come without a good reason.
You are a man of honor, senor. You told Elena you would never see her again. I am her father. I forbid you to see her now.
Senor, with all respect, I must see Elena. And I shall before I leave this house. Her life depends on it.
Her life, do you say? You must have great reason indeed to come here now. To use such words to... I am sorry. You could not have known.
Known?
I must remember. Even now that you loved her deeply. That is the door to her room.
Her room? Is she ill?
The doctors do not understand it. But they say there is no hope for her.
No hope?
She's dying, Senor Satillo. That is her room. You may go in.
Elena.
Juan? Are you real?
Yes, Elena. I am real.
Let me touch you.
I am sorry, Elena. So bitterly, terribly sorry.
Juan, on the table here, your statue of Saint Cecilia. It has been near me all the time.
I don't know what to say.
I am so happy you have come.
Elena, I'm going to take the statuette away.
Oh.
I must.
Very well, if you must, but for a moment, hold it where I can see it. And you. Oh, I'll be waiting for you, Juan. Sometime. Somewhere.
I promise. On my word of honor. I must leave now.
Goodbye, Juan. But I'll be waiting.
Huh? Tio, wait.
What? Oh, Senor Morton.
You have the statuette? Give it to me.
You promised you would not follow me.
With $500,000 at stake, Stubby, let him have it so he can't talk.
Yes, this is Helen Ferguson, Mr. Harding's secretary. No, Mr. Harding's not here. He flew out this morning. He's already at the atomic plant in Tennessee.
Naturally, Mr. Harding, the theft of uranium compound from this atomic plant is a matter for the counterspies.
Well, Dr. Corning, what section of the plant do you believe it was stolen from?
Right from this laboratory section, Mr. Harding.
It's highly radioactive, isn't it?
Unless precautions are taken, it can be fatal. Pardon me, Mr. Harding.
Sure.
Yes? What? Yes. Yes, of course. Oh, that's awful. Awful. Yes, I'll tell Mr. Harding at once.
What is it, Doctor?
One of our young chemists, Selwood Parks, has just shot himself over at his house.
Oh?
And he left a suicide note addressed to you.
Let's get over there as fast as we can, Doctor. I want to read that note. I am killing myself because I committed treason, blackmailed by a man whose identity I never learned, but I followed his orders. I stole the uranium from the laboratory. Out in the yard, I picked up the yard cat. The man was on the outside of the gate with a collie shepherd dog. He let the dog run in through the gate, and there was a fight.
Of all the fiendishly clever schemes.
I petted the dog, but as I did so, I hid the vial under the collie's stomach with adhesive tape. The dog's owner whistled, and the dog ran out of the gate. It looked so natural, the guards paid no attention.
What a trick, Dave.
Now I cannot live on as a traitor. My wife, my children, forgive me.
What an end for a young fellow. If he could have given us just one clue to the identity of the man.
Maybe he did, Peters, without realizing it. In this part of the country, people prefer hounds. Not many have collie shepherd dogs. I want you to locate every collie shepherd dog within 100 miles of this plant. Inside the town, Peters, you can drop the siren. Now, go ahead and tell me.
Well, we've located 119 collie shepherd dogs within 100 miles of the atomic plant.
The owners all stood inspection?
The only odd situation is this family we're going to visit. 6 weeks ago, a man named Morton said he was going to Mexico and gave them his dog.
That's worth investigating. I'm glad you brought along the Geiger counter, too.
With so much uranium compound taped to the body of the dog, even though it was only on him for a few minutes, it may have made him radioactive.
Yeah, there's some trucks ahead, Peter. Sound your siren. Time counts. Easy, boy. This isn't going to hurt.
All set with the counter, Dave.
Move the dog over this way, Father, Peter.
I'll go with you, boy. Come on.
Now, let's try the Geiger counter. That's normal. Swing the dog over a little farther.
Come on, boy. There you go. Good boy. He sure is radioactive.
This is the dog without any question, Peters. Look at that needle. This dog will never live. Sorry, old boy.
Look at his eyes. I think he knows it, too.
Peters, you say the woman who has this dog now says that the man who gave it to her mentioned flying to Mexico.
Yes. I'll check any plane reservations made recently from around here to Mexico.
And contact the Mexican police. The thieves are going to want to get that uranium to some foreign country just as soon as they can.
Mr. Morton, I'm sure glad to see that boat.
Yes, Stubby. I'll be glad to get out of Acapulco, too. Not too happy about our disguises, though.
Well, that's the best we could do. You got the tickets.
Nice one, Stubby. For Europe.
Yeah, and $500,000 payoff, eh? Hey.
Yeah?
We ain't going to Europe in that little tub.
That's only the lighter to take passengers out to the ship.
Oh.
She's anchored way out.
Don't let that suitcase get out of your hands, senor.
Never. Get in line. We have to show our tickets.
Yeah. You know, I gotta laugh.
What's funny?
Right in our hands, enough uranium compound.
Shut up. Don't you yell it out your hat.
Here's the guy taking tickets.
Tickets, please. Please show your tickets.
There you are.
You two gentlemen?
Yeah, it's true, gentlemen.
Want a porter for that bag, son?
I'll carry it.
Very well. Just a moment.
We're delaying the line. Let's keep going.
Stand where you are.
What?
A gun?
And another one. Right behind you, boy. Walk through that door.
What is this?
United States Counterspies. Peters, I've got them covered. See if they have guns.
Where's one each, Mr. Harding?
Mr. Harding, I protest this treatment.
If I am wrong, I'll apologize. Peters, put the suitcase on the table.
All right.
Now, bring the Geiger counter closer.
Here.
Now, let's see. Papers. Books. Shirts, ties. Toilet articles. Morton, what's this wrapped in flannel?
Just a statuette.
Hear that? The Geiger counter tells us that whatever's in this flannel is radioactive. Open up, Peters. Let's see.
But I...
Wow. Statuette of St. Cecilia. Morton, is this where you hid the uranium compound you stole from the atomic plant?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You blackmailed a man into you helping you get it out with your own collie dog.
You're out of your mind. I never owned a dog in my life.
Just a moment. I have another way to make a test. Come on out, Tommy. Come on, boy.
He's jumping all over.
That doesn't mean anything. The dog hasn't forgotten you, has he? Of all the people here, he picked you right out. You killed him. Now he's putting the finger on you.
When your friends drop in, be generous, but be thrifty, too. Serve plenty of delicious Pepsi-Cola. Pepsi's big 12-ounce bottle gives you not just one sparkling glassful, but two. Get a carton of 6 and serve 12 delicious drinks. Yes, Pepsi is America's biggest cola value. You get twice the tangy taste, twice the refreshment, twice the Pepsi. So why take less when Pepsi is best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lots more value, lots more. Lots more value, lots more zest. I take less when Pepsi's best.
tune in every Tuesday and Thursday, same time, same station to Counterspy. Listen on Thursday for the exciting Counterspy case of the Desert Explosion.
The man-eating birds of prey that were used to execute a betrayer. The worldwide smuggler who used geometry in action to test salesmen of information. And the 3 pennies worth of sulfur that were used to trick the killer the law couldn't touch. Be sure to be listening on Thursday, day after tomorrow, to
Case of the Desert Explosion on Counterspy. Tonight's Counterspy program originated in New York and featured Don McLaughlin and Mandel Kramer with music by Jesse Crawford. Counterspy is a Philip H. Lord production for Pepsi-Cola. Enjoy some Pepsi ice cold tonight. Pepsi-Cola, P-E-P-S-I. That's your smartest cola buy. Pepsi-Cola presents Counterspy.
Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy. Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy.
Harding, Counterspy, calling Washington.
United States Counterspies, especially appointed to investigate and combat the enemies of our country, both at home and abroad.
Tonight, the case of the desert explosion. Another Counter-Spy report to the American people. Brought to you each Tuesday and Thursday by Pepsi-Cola.
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot.
That's right. You heard what they said. 2 full glasses of sparkling Pepsi from one big 12-ounce bottle. You're getting an extra glassful. And what a delicious glassful. The most refreshing, delightful cola that ever tickled your taste. You can't top Pepsi's tangy flavor. And that big, big bottle saves you money, goes twice as far. Pepsi's America's big, big favorite. And America's biggest cola value. So why take less when Pepsi's best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember.
Why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now, to Counterspy. Out in the desert mountains of Mexico, the heat has long since destroyed all life. Except high in the air, the ominous circling of great bloodthirsty birds of prey. And on the hard sun-cracked earth, a small group of men with one woman moving slowly to the base of a cliff.
Very well. We stop here. Senora. Listen to me, Senora. And you men, you will listen too. You have all worked for me for some years. I pay you well. No one in Mexico can deny that. But you know, too, I will not allow anyone to betray me and live. This woman, this miserable wretch and her husband, one of my most successful operators in narcotics, tried to sell me out. Her husband, he is already dead. And now this woman shall die here.
No.
Her death will be a lesson to all of you. Never to talk. Never. Senora, look. Above you in the sky. You see the birds? The birds of death? Do the rest of you understand? I see you do. Now, Senora.
No!
Now, gentlemen, we shall leave.
Some weeks later, at midnight, in a cafe in the Mexican city of Cordoba, a trim, alert-eyed girl sat drinking alone. As a young, roughly dressed Mexican entered at the front door and approached her, she glanced down into her open purse and drew confidence from the .25 caliber revolver nestling there.
Hola, guapa.
Keep it clean, Junior.
In Mexico, guapa means pretty.
Pretty what?
Pretty nifty. I know American slang too, no?
No.
Well, then you teach me.
Teacher's not in the mood.
Oh, you have a little temper, but I sit down and help the mood to change. Senorita, you are as beautiful as the dogs of my native village.
Take it easy, Buster. You'll wear yourself out.
Hola, mozo, 12 veces.
Sí.
Good to see you again, Peppy.
You have news?
We've taken a ranch house 20 miles outside the city.
We?
Me, you'll call me Ella Thomas, and the boss, Mr. Jones.
I'm ready to work with you.
The man we're after is Manuel Rodriguez.
The Manuel Rodriguez?
Careful, the waiter.
Sí.
¿Ya sentado?
Sí, aquí está.
Muchas gracias,
Nada.
Now, Pepe, tell me what you know about Rodriguez.
He is one of the richest, most fantastic, most powerful men in Mexico. And one of the cruelest. An international broker of secret information. On his enormous ranch not far from here, he gives big fiestas.
Hey.
When American dancing shows come here, he invites everybody. He may keep guests for a week. People from all over the world. And, when I met on his ranch are said to be large poppy fields for opium. He's a big dope smuggler.
That's our boy.
Most of his enemies disappear. He said he takes them into the desert and murders them. Others remain silent out of fear.
It'll be a great thrill to outsmart him, Pepe.
You have a plan?
First, you're to get an ordinary peon's job on the Rodriguez ranch. That ought to be easy.
At this time of the year, yes.
In my hand, under the table, in small packages. Take them.
See. I have them.
The drug in the blue paper will cause large blotches on your skin.
Dios mío.
Now, they're harmless. The drug in pink paper will make the pupils of your eyes dilate.
Uh-huh.
And the one in white paper, you'll run a quick high fever without any bad results.
And then?
In 2 weeks, Mr. Jones and I will visit Manuel Rodriguez and his ranch. We will explain that we are agents of the United States government.
Counterspies?
Why not? And that we have come to arrest you.
Oh. Very good. Now, another drink, eh?
Hola, mozo! Mozo!
Yes, now, what did you say your business was, Mr.
Jones.
Oh.
I didn't say, but I will, Mr. Rodriguez. Miss Thomas and I are agents of the United States government.
Counterspies.
On Mexican soil?
We've just rented a place 9 miles from your ranch here.
The old Gomez place, huh?
Oh, old is right. And the reason
And we're in
we're...
Mexico to recover a quantity of a new uranium compound worth over $1 million. It was stolen from one of our atomic plants.
And you think I have it, Mr. Jones?
We think it's here, on your ranch.
I do not enjoy jokes of this kind.
We'd already recovered the stuff and shipped the criminals back to the States for punishment.
But before we could leave, too, the uranium compound was stolen again.
And again I ask, do you think I have it?
Well, you know how to handle it,
Let me, Alan.
Oh, for Pete's sake, let me finish a sentence once in a while.
Mr. Rodriguez, as Miss Thomas says, you would know how to handle uranium. But the thief, we're afraid, does not.
Incredible.
You see, it was swept up along with some money, a watch, a few papers out of a safe in my room.
How did you learn that, Mr. Jones?
One of our peons confessed that 2 weeks ago he and another man got drunk and ransacked my room.
The peon with a guilty conscience?
Mr. Jones used a whip. That's how we found out about Pepe Ramirez.
Pepe Ramirez?
Ah, then he is working here.
Follow me to his shack, please. For questioning. I must tell you, however, he is very ill. My ranch doctor is back.
Have you seen him yourself?
Briefly.
Is his skin badly blotched? Pupils of the eyes dilated?
You running a high fever?
How did you know his symptoms?
Those are the early symptoms of uranium poisoning.
That clinches the theft on Pepe, Mr. Jones.
Through this door, please. Mr. Jones, do you mean that this miserable peon is hiding $1 million worth of a new uranium compound?
How else would he get uranium poisoning?
Right here. Under my very nose. The shack is down this way.
Senor Rodriguez, I did not steal.
These people want the truth.
Better talk, Pepe.
I am sick.
I'll make you sicker.
Pepe, where did you hide the uranium? One more chance, Pepe. We beat it out of you good.
The whip, Mr. Jones?
No, I think he's cracking now.
Please, I did not know. see in this bunk.
His bunk.
That's better.
Pull him out of there.
No, please.
To rip out the mattress.
Put on your gloves first, Jones.
Gloves?
That's special gloves. It's the only safe way to handle this stuff. Now, the mattress.
Nothing.
Try the board.
Yeah.
Is there anything?
Here we are. See?
That little bottle. Worth $1 million?
Maybe more. To some government abroad.
Yes. I can imagine. Now, may I offer you both some refreshment back in the house?
No, thank you. We've got work to do at our own place.
Perhaps I may call on you in the next few days.
Business, Mr. Rodriguez?
Purely social. If you don't mind, Miss Thomas.
Not at all, Mr. Rodriguez. Jonesy, he fell for it 2,000%.
A perfect trick.
When he saw that little vial, his tongue hung out like a hound dog.
$1 million, he thought, right under his nose. And he hadn't known it.
Jonesy. Behind us on the road, the car following.
10 to 1, it's Rodriguez.
Following to see where we go with the auto.
Maybe find out if we really are counter spies or not.
You think he was putting on an act back there?
He's clever enough to.
I'll swear he thought Pepe was really sick.
Lucky those drugs you gave Pepe fooled the doctor.
Well, nothing to do now but get back to the Gomez place and see what happens.
With guns handy and backs to the wall.
Yeah.
That car still following?
Same distance.
Maybe Rodriguez will pay that social call of his right away. He fell for you hard.
Yeah. He noticed you and I don't get along.
I'm betting he makes a try for this little vial. He won't stop at anything if he thinks he can get away with it. And he may start tonight.
Jonesy. Somebody's lurking around outside the ranch house. I've seen a shadow several times.
Rodriguez?
If he'd either go away or come in, I don't like the suspense.
He may shoot. Stay away from the windows.
Can't we pull something on him?
We might. Yeah, let's try it.
What?
Get out our suitcases. Start packing as if we're leaving. Maybe that'll hustle him into action.
Worth trying, anyhow. My bag's in the closet.
Ella, I think if we drive the rest of the night, we can make El Paso by daylight.
Sure we can. We'll check with the boss when we get there. Here's your briefcase.
Keep it up, Ella.
You know, it's a darn shame we got that call to leave so soon. I like this part of the cut.
Now we find out the worst. I'll go. Oh, hello, Mr. Rodriguez. Come in.
Mr. Jones, you forgive this unexpected visit sooner than I planned. Ah, Mr. Thomas, how charming you look.
Yes, and haven't I changed in the last 2 hours?
Packing, Mr. Jones? I understood you were staying some days more.
Well, we got a hurry call.
Oh. This gives me no time to cultivate the acquaintance of Miss Thomas.
I'll come back someday, Mr. Rodriguez.
Or perhaps you are not even leaving, either of you.
Hmm?
What?
You are not United States counterspies. You yourselves are the thieves of that uranium material.
Mr. Rodriguez, you're all wrong.
Further, you yourselves intend to sell it.
We don't know anybody with $1 million.
Shut up, Ellen.
You never let me talk.
Miss Thomas, suppose you did know someone with $1 million.
We're American agents, Rodriguez.
You are not. You're a pair of crooks. Now, suppose that vial contains the uranium compound, and you knew someone with $1.5 million.
Well, that'd be...
Up, Ella.
Go ahead, Rodriguez.
Can you prove it is the real uranium compound?
Let's say we could.
Then in 3 days I can raise $1.5 million. Cash. American dollars.
And then you'll resell the material abroad for $10 million.
That would be my risk.
Take the deal, Jonesy.
Okay, Rodriguez. We'll prove it's the uranium compound. 6 drops plus certain other ingredients can be set off by a cap attached to a fuse.
Uranium is not set off that way.
I told you this is a new secret development. It can be used dozens of ways.
You will show me now?
If I let you know where the stuff is hidden, our lives won't be worth a nickel.
Cautious, aren't you? Very well. Where and when?
We'll pick you up tomorrow afternoon at 2:30 and lead you to some deserted spot in these mountains around here.
Good. Until tomorrow, Mr. Jones, Miss Thomas.
Oh, you won't see me there. I'm going over to Gulf City and wait for a phone call from Jonesy. And you?
It shall come from me, Miss Thomas.
One had better come from Jonesy, too, Mr. Rodriguez. Or I tell the Mexican police that you left him in the mountains with those man-eating birds you've got around here.
You are both very clever. Good night.
Back to Counterspy in just a moment. But first...
Pepsi-Cola, it's a spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lots more value, lots more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
More and more, among fellows and girls, among mothers and dads, you hear that sane and sensible question, why take less when Pepsi is best? No budget, no allowance ever had a better friend than tangy, sparkling Pepsi-Cola. Because one big 12-ounce Pepsi bottle gives you 2 delicious drinks. That's twice as much tangy taste, twice as much delicious Pepsi to go just twice as far. That's why more and more families say, why take less when Pepsi's best? Yes, families like yours and mine. Families all over America. They're all saying, why take less when Pepsi's best?
Pepsi-Cola so delicious, and each bottle makes 2 drinks. It is certainly the cola for the purchaser who thinks everybody's drinking Pepsi. Just compare it with the rest. So much more and so much finer. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
Today, tomorrow, always. Get America's biggest cola value. Take home a carton of 6 big Pepsi bottles. Insist on Pepsi at the store. And say Pepsi at the fountain. Say Pepsi at the stand. Say Pepsi. Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now, back to Counterspy. It is hot, blazing noon in the desert mountains of Mexico.
Rodriguez, we're 40 miles from any other human being. Now, here's where I set up the experiment. It'll be fairly safe, I hope. A few drops of the uranium compound plus the other ingredients into fuse. If you're ready.
Mr. Jones, look at those balloons of prey swirling above us in the engine.
Boy. I guess we look like a meal to them,
We call them birds of death. They're cruel, powerful, bloodthirsty. If you try to cheat me, Mr. Jones, I will break both your legs with bullets and leave you here alive for those birds.
Cute ideas you have, don't you?
Light the fuse.
Now run. We have 8 seconds.
Hey! Mr. Jones, I fell! Help me out!
Up with you. 3 seconds. Come on. Behind these rocks. Just made it.
Perfect, Mr. Jones. I apologize for my suspicions. I will have the money for you in 48 hours.
Where?
Your ranch house?
Fine. And I'll be ready to show you where the material is.
Until then, Mr. Jones, I'm driving away now.
Come on out, Ella.
Coming. I thought sure he saw that wire run near the battery I'd hidden.
Luckily for us, his greed's making him blind.
What if he followed us out here last night when we set up this fake uranium explosion?
When he fell down, he was really scared. He never suspected it was fake.
But to fall for this, 3 cents worth of harmless powder posing as uranium, 6 charges of ordinary TNT.
Stop worrying, Ella. We've got Rodriguez hooked. Come on, let's get to our ranch.
Ranch life may be great, Jonesy, but I don't like cooking.
Only another day to wait.
For a vegetable, you want Mexican beans or Mexican beans?
I'd rather have Mexican beans.
Good, that's all we got.
And then put out the light.
Got it.
Out the back window. I saw somebody coming.
Rodriguez, ahead of time?
Get just beyond the doorway to the dining room. I'll stay here. You cover me with your gun.
Right.
Mr. Jones?
Yeah.
I'm David Harding, United States Counterspy. May I come in?
Can't stop you, can I?
You alone?
Yes, Chief. Okay, Ella, come on in.
Coming. Harding, am I glad to see you.
Hello, Ella. Sorry to put you two through this rigmarole.
Dave, with Rodriguez around, safety first is the best motto.
Mr. Jones, can we use the shortwave radio?
Right here, Mr. Harding. It's hidden in the cupboard.
I want the Mexican secret police in Cordoba. What's the frequency?
Channel 18.
Harding to SX, Channel 18. Come in, Channel 18. Hello, Pepe. Rodriguez has fallen for our cock and bull story about that stolen uranium. Now, all we need is one break so we can get other people to talk to us about Rodriguez. You'd better stand by in case they need help.
Right.
Now, Washington. Harding to Channel 1. Come in, Channel 1.
Channel 1, Mr. Harding. Go ahead.
Edwards, from now on, keep this channel open 24 hours a day. I may want instantaneous check on fingerprints.
Right.
I'm with Peters and Ella in Mexico in their ranch house. I flew in this morning when things got hot. We're getting the best line yet on our old friend Rodriguez, the espionage broker.
I hope you land him this time, sir.
We've got a baited hook out for him, but with that man, I'm not going to wait for him to bite. I'm going to cram it down his throat.
With Jones. You know my temper. I hit him with a paperweight. I think I killed him. Please help me.
Of course, Ella. Where did you leave him?
Back in our ranch house. He's on the floor, all bloody. Mr. Rodriguez, I don't know what I'm going to do.
My dear Ella, I'll look after you.
But the police, they may discover the murder and look for me.
If need be, I can hide you forever.
What?
Don't worry. We must go there at once.
I don't want to go back there.
My dear, I was planning to buy that uranium compound. Now, can't you and I get it for nothing? Come. Ella, it's pitch dark in here.
I know. I cut the light and telephone wires when I left.
You have a candle?
Yes. There's one beside you on the piano.
It's better. And here's our friend, Mr. Jones.
Alive, thank heavens he's alive.
But not very much alive. Now, the uranium compound.
I know where it's hidden.
Get it.
Just a moment.
Hidden the picture on the wall? What an obvious place.
It was safe. You're the only one that even knew we had it.
Look, we have it.
Here. Watch how you handle it.
Now, to arrange matters for you.
Me?
You will leave all your clothes here except what you actually need. From the shallow grave of a woman I had to dispose of, not far from here, I will... You will not mind being impersonated by the bones of a dead woman.
I don't get it.
Then we will smash this place up a bit. This bookend, mirror, for instance.
What are you doing?
Planning your death, Miss Thomas.
I've got a gun, Rodriguez.
Your apparent death in this house burned out by an accidental fire.
Oh.
While you hide on my ranch until we go to Europe, secretly. But now to finish off Mr. Jones.
You're going to kill him before you set the fire?
Of course. That's how the bookend will do.
Stop, Rodriguez. Hands in the air, Rodriguez.
I'll take that bookend.
Rodriguez, you're under arrest by the United States Counterspy. The Mexican National Police.
Ridiculous.
One charge, violation of the international agreement covering the safety of atomic material and information.
I was not in this alone. This woman, this man, Jones.
By the way, Jonesy, you okay?
Fine. Only tired of lying on the floor.
Rodriguez, meet Mr. Jones, or let's call him Harry Peters, my assistant.
But you have no evidence. No one will dare to speak against me.
Rodriguez, you're a murderer. You kept people silent by fear. The gunmen and narcotics runners who worked for you were afraid to talk. Now that you're under arrest, they'll be free to tell everything they know.
By the way, Mr. Harding, here's the uranium wrapped up in his pocket.
He earned that, Ella. Let him keep it. It's only a few cents worth of harmless powder. I'm sorry, Rodriguez, but illegal possession of uranium is the one charge we can't hang on you.
When your friends drop in, be generous, but be thrifty, too. Serve plenty of delicious Pepsi-Cola. Pepsi's big 12-ounce bottle gives you not just one sparkling glass full, but two. Get a carton of 6 and serve 12 delicious drinks. Yes, Pepsi is America's biggest cola value. You get twice the tangy taste, twice the refreshment, twice the Pepsi. So why take less when Pepsi is best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lots more value, lots more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
tune in every Tuesday and Thursday, same time, same station to Counterspy. Listen next Tuesday for the exciting Counterspy case of the bouncing bank robber.
The quick-shooting intruder who power plunged through a plate glass window. The ferry boat that whistled a strange message about the passenger who had jumped overboard. And the roller coaster in reverse that carried a killer who was beyond the electric chair. That's next Tuesday's Counterspy case. So be sure to listen.
Case of the bouncing bank robber on Counterspy. Tonight's Counterspy program originated in New York, was directed by William M. Sweets, and featured Don McLaughlin and Mandel Kramer, with music by Jesse Crawford. Counterspy is a Phillips H. Lord production for Pepsi-Cola. Enjoy some Pepsi, ice cold tonight. Pepsi-Cola, P-E-P-S-I, that's your smartest cola buy. Pepsi-Cola presents Counterspy.
Counterspy. Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy.
Harding, Counterspy. Calling Washington.
United States Counterspies, especially appointed to investigate and combat the enemies of our country, both at home and abroad.
Tonight, the case of the bouncing bank robber. Another Counterspy report to the American people. Brought to you each Tuesday and Thursday by Pepsi-Cola.
Pepsi-Cola, hit the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot.
That's right, you heard what they said. 2 full glasses of sparkling Pepsi from one big 12-ounce bottle. You're getting an extra glassful. And what a delicious glassful. The most refreshing, delightful cola that ever tickled your taste. You can't top Pepsi's tangy flavor. And that big, big bottle saves you money, goes twice as far. Pepsi's America's big, big favorite. And America's biggest cola value. So why take less when Pepsi's best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember.
Why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now, to Counterspy. Sometimes Counterspy cases extend over a period of years. Tonight's case, however, extended over a period of hours. The most exciting 6 hours your Counterspies ever experienced. River City, 10 minutes to 3 in the afternoon. In a building on the north side, David Harding, chief of the Counterspies, was completing a routine field office investigation. In another building on the outskirts of the city, the Merchants Federal Bank and Loan Association was preparing to close. A few customers were at the teller's window. Then, 2 men entered quietly from the street, stopped, and looked around.
You stay back, Gus, and cover those goons behind the railed-in space. I'll take the cashier.
Okay, boys.
Fine. Yes, it's over there. If it's an overdraft, you can get it about it.
Yes, can I help you, sir?
Yeah, sure, cashier. Take this briefcase.
Why,
This is a stick-up. Start shoving the money into that case fast and quiet. Nobody will get hurt.
Yes, sure.
Come on, faster. Bring the burglar along, will you? Okay, hero, take this. All right, everybody, back against the wall. No tricks.
Wait. The door. Metal door sliding shut.
Nobody move. I said, lady, nobody move. Yes, cut that out. We can't knock these doors down.
The cops will be here. We gotta get out. How do we do it, please? I'll bet our car's rammed already.
That fake glass window. We'll jump through. Follow me.
Well, get cut. I can't go through the window.
Okay, stay here, but you won't be talking to no cops.
I was just going to take off.
What now? Fast.
Hey, that cop.
Drive. I'll take care of him. Got him. Take the next corner.
Driven by man and woman wanted for attempted
Hello, Edwards. Mr. Harding still inside the bank?
No, sir. He just left for the hospital with the wounded hold-up man. The chief wants you to question the bank manager. He's inside.
Right. You remain here with the car for any radio reports.
Mr. Peters, he just went berserk. 2 people wounded, 2 dead.
Yes, I know, Mr. Fulton. But what about the killer's appearance?
Clean cut, very big, athletically built, blonde hair.
No question about the athletic part.
No.
You say he leaped straight through this window without any hesitation?
Yes.
Wonder he didn't cut himself to pieces.
Well, he was wearing a very heavy leather jacket, from what I could see.
Mm-hmm.
He ran to about here. His partner said something. Then he turned and shot him. And then continued on straight through the window.
I see. Did you notice how he went through the window?
Definitely. As he leaped, he covered his head with his arms, actually broke the glass with them.
Mm-hmm.
And he landed outside just like a tumbler in the circus.
How do you mean?
Well, you know the trick they have. Just before they land, they double up, bring their chins down sharply, and actually land on their shoulders and back.
You're very observant, Mr. Fulton.
Well, it happens I took my daughter to the circus 2 nights ago. I couldn't help noticing.
Say, Peters.
Excuse me, Mr. Fulton. Yes, Edwards.
A report just came in on the hold-up car.
Yes?
It was found abandoned in the Rosemount section, 18th Street and Avenue J at 4:10 p.m. The beat patrolman's guarding it now.
Good. We'll get out there as soon as we can.
Any chance, Doctor?
Not much, Mr. Harding. That's why we're using the respirator. It's a wonder this gunman wasn't dead on arrival with these bullet wounds in him.
Well, is there a chance he'll regain consciousness, even for a moment or so?
Well, that's what we're trying to do right now. He's going fast.
Well, try, Doctor, try.
Right. Nurse, hypodermic.
Adrenaline?
Yes. Alcohol on his chest, nurse. Thank you. There. It'll be a few seconds. Yeah, he's responding. You'd better get over here if you want to talk to him, Mr. Harding. Eyelids moving. Here, I'll remove the respirator. All right, start talking, Mr. Harding.
Can you hear me? Listen. Can you hear me? You know who shot you, don't you?
Rat.
But his name. You don't want him to get away. His name.
Brace. Hondo.
Where does he live?
Hideout.
Yes?
Front Street. 24.
Go on.
24. It's no use, Mr. Harding. That's it.
Brace Hondo. 24-something on Front Street. Well, thank you, Doctor. I hope it's enough.
No, Brace, I won't do it. You're putting me on a spot.
Don't be crazy, Peg. They got descriptions of me over half the town by now. I heard it on the 6 o'clock news.
Why'd you have to start blasting away?
What do you want me to do, sit there and wait for the cops?
What about my description?
You think they haven't got that?
Who can describe it, Dame? Besides, you were in the car all the time. Getting dark now. Look, Peg, there's no two ways about it. We gotta steal that car and lay 'em out of here.
But the whole town's hot. We'd be safer holding up in here.
We'll take that chance. All my life, I've been taking that extra chance nobody else takes. It's always paid off. Besides, babe, they got a murder rap on both of us.
Me? Not me.
Don't kid yourself. You've been in from the start. I fry, you fry. And that's an odds-on bet if we stay here.
Okay, Brace.
Smart girl.
Where do I get the car?
The Farley and Megan Circus is playing a stand just across the river right next to the Arcade Amusement Park.
So?
There's a big lot. Free parking, no attendance. Take the ferry right next to this block across. Go to the lot. There's always some jerk leaves his key in a car. Watch for it, heist it fast, and then get back here.
Hello, Dave. Hospital receptionist told me to be in this waiting room.
Peters, you're just in time.
We got a line on the killer's car. It was abandoned.
We can hold that, Peters. The other crook talked before he died.
Oh?
The one who escaped is Brace Hondo, with a hideout on the 2400 block on Front Street, very close to the river, right next to the Arcade Ferry House.
2400 block.
Now, except for one garage, the rest of the block on both sides is old brownstone houses and warehouses.
Set up a raiding squad?
Yes. Now, we won't have enough of our own men, so we'll have the local police lend us a detail. And have them bring along a loudspeaker and spotlights. It'll be dark shortly. I want at least 50 men so we can cover all the exits in that block. All men assigned to their stations, Peters?
Yes, Dave. Moving into position now. They'll start searching every building on the block at exactly 7:45.
10 minutes from now. You told them to play it careful. Stay out of sight.
Right. And when we close...
Hold it. Huh. A girl. Going into that brownstone house. Number 2410.
There was a girl about that age driving the getaway car. One of the bank witnesses said.
Yes, I know. When it's time to start moving in, you and I'll take that building personally.
I got it, Brace. The packet 48, loaded with gas.
It's about time. It's almost 7:45. Let's go.
No, I need a drink first. I got the jitters.
There's a bottle belted. I'll make sure the coast is clear. Hey, you dumb little...
What's the matter?
Come here. Look down there in the shadows, on the corner. A cop. And there, another one.
It wasn't me, Brace. I drove right off the ferry and turned the corner. Nobody tailed me, I swear it.
And down there, across the street in that alleyway. More.
What do we do, Brace?
Let's blast our way out. We got an arsenal in this hideout.
No, Brace, I don't want to.
What did I tell you about always taking that extra chance?
But I'm scared.
All right, so cry a few tears, but take this automatic. You can handle it. I'll handle a Tommy gun.
Brace, don't.
Get up. Here it goes. Okay, coppers, here's something for you. Got one. Got an army out there. We'll give them some more. Start shooting, babe. Fire at their flesh.
Okay.
Keep it up, babe.
Oh, Brace, I'm hit. Oh, my arm.
It's getting too hot, babe. We'll take the roof. We'll have a better chance to be open.
No, Brace. I couldn't make it.
My heart bleeds for you, babe, but I'm leaving you behind. One more burst, you can hold the fort alone. Hello, kid. Give my regards to the cops. I ain't in the mood to deliver them personally.
counterspies have every exit covered. Throw your guns out and give yourself up. We'll give you 15 seconds. Then we're coming in after you. 15 seconds from now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Dave, the roof. That shot came from outside.
Spotlights number 1, 2, and 3 on the roof. Quick!
One of our men hit. Dave, look. Hondo's going to try to jump to the ferry building.
Keep those spotlights on the roof. Spotlight number 4. Stay with Hondo.
Dave, he made it. On top of the ferry slip. The spotlights, quick.
All spotlights. Shift to the roof of the ferry slip.
Wow, that must have been a 15-foot leap. He's going to try to make the ferry. It's leaving the slip.
Keep that number 4 spotlight on Hondo. Hold your fire, men. There are passengers on that boat.
Hondo made it. He's on the ferry boat.
Attention, ferry captain. Reverse your engines and return to slip at once. Attention, ferry captain. Reverse your engines. Attention, ferry captain.
Engine room.
Your engines.
Engine room. New orders from the wheelhouse.
These are government orders.
Reverse your engines. We're going back to the slip.
You go back, Popeye, and you're a dead sea dog.
Who are you?
The guy with a gun. Now listen, Popeye, signal your engine room for full speed ahead and keep going.
Well,
Full speed ahead.
The ferry captain's going ahead, Chief.
Hondo must have reached the wheelhouse, Peters. Have the police on the other side of the river meet the ferry.
Right.
And radio the river patrol for 3 fast boats immediately. We're going after him.
Okay, Dave. We're all aboard.
And cast off. The ferry hasn't reached the other side yet.
Cast off.
Those ferry whistles. They're signaling us.
Yes.
Have them cut our motor.
Cut the motor, pilot. Quick. Dave, that's Morse code. Hold it.
The captain says the gunman dove off the ferry. Radio the other boats to fan out. Throw their spotlights on the river and on both banks. We'll take the center of the fan. Okay, full speed.
Back to Counterspy in a moment. But first,
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lots more value, lots more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
more and more among fellows and girls, among mothers and dads, you hear that sane and sensible question, why take less when Pepsi's best? No budget, no allowance ever had a better friend than tangy, sparkling Pepsi-Cola. Because one big 12-ounce Pepsi bottle gives you 2 delicious drinks. That's twice as much tangy taste, twice as much delicious Pepsi to go just twice as far. That's why more and more families say, why take less when Pepsi's best? Yes, families like yours and mine. Families all over America. They're all saying, why take less when Pepsi's best?
Pepsi-Cola so delicious, and each bottle makes 2 drinks. It is certainly the cola for the purchaser who thinks everybody's drinking Pepsi. Just compare it with the rest. So much more and so much finer. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
Today, tomorrow, always. Get America's biggest cola value. Take home a carton of 6 big Pepsi bottles. Insist on Pepsi at the store. And say Pepsi at the fountain. Say Pepsi at the stand. Say Pepsi. Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now, back to Counterspy. 5 breathless hours have elapsed since Killer Brace Hondo has held up the Merchants Federal Bank and Loan Association. David Harding and his assistant Harry Peters are slowly closing in on the fugitive murderer.
Pretty misty out here on the river, Peter. See anything?
Not so far, Dave. Not even the other patrol boats. Right about 6.
Patrol boat 3 to Mr. Harding.
Right.
Patrol boat 3 to Mr. Harding.
Go ahead, Patrol Boat 3.
We picked up the spot where Hondo may have gone ashore, just above the amusement park and circus.
Head for it, Patrol Boat 3. We'll join you there. Yep. This is where Hondo came ashore, all right, Peter.
Trail heads to the circus tent.
Edward.
Yes, Mr. Harding.
Call in the other boats. Now contact the police at the ferry slip. Have them cover all exits from the circus lot and the amusement park.
Right, sir.
Also have some men in plain clothes circulate through the crowd. Keep a sharp eye out. Peters now contact the circus management and get their cooperation.
This is terrible, Mr. Harding. The evening crowd's beginning to collect.
That's why we haven't a minute to lose, Mr. Purdy. Now, give me a picture of the way you're set up here.
Yeah, well, the circus and the amusement park are completely on Cove's Point.
Yes, I know. We've got every exit covered. But what about your specific layout?
Well, the amusement park is out at the end of the point. The main entrance to the circus arena there leads to the performer's tent.
Well, go on.
And that small entrance over there leads across an open space to the menagerie tent.
Dave, Edwards has the men all placed. We've got about 20 more circulating through the crowd.
Good. Well, now. Hey, wait a minute.
What is it?
There in the arena. See that bedraggled figure?
Oh, it's just a clown that... No, it's not.
He's sopping wet.
That's our man. He's heading for the exit to the menagerie tent. Come on, Peter.
Okay, Mr. Harding. I've got men placed all around the menagerie tent.
Good, Edward. All right, Peter. The PA microphone, please.
Mr. Harding, will there be any shooting?
That's up to Hondo, Mr. Purdy. We'll do our best to avoid it.
I hope you can. Hey, listen to those animals. They're upset and scared.
All right, Dave. Take the microphone.
Hondo, we know you're in that tent. We've got it surrounded. Now play it smart and give yourself up. What are you working? All right, Hondo.
The animals, they'll get excited.
Dave, look.
Our lions are loose.
Shooting the lock off the animal cages. Edward, warn all our men. Purdy, get your animal men here, quick. About Hondo. Forget him from now. We've got to pitch in before that circus crowd finds out the animals are loose. They'll start a panic.
Where do you think you're going? The roller coaster's under repair.
Which stall, sister? Get out of that ticket booth. You're going for a ride with me.
But the coaster's under repair, I tell you.
Did she run it off?
Yes. Oh, now, mister. A gun.
Come on, girlie. Start moving fast.
I hope they get all the animals, Mr. Harding.
We'll do our best, Purdy.
All those rotten tricks.
We've still got Hondo's escape covered. He can't get off this point. What's that noise, Miss Purdy?
That's the roller coaster. That's funny. It's not supposed to start now.
Hondo.
The roller coaster. Oh, he's crazy. Where can he go?
We'll find out. Come on.
Tough spot, Dave. Hard to see the upper part of the coaster.
Mr. Purdy, how's this thing built?
It's a pretty long ride all around. The first long incline starts right here. It goes up to a height of about 70 feet right at the edge of the water.
Wait a minute. I can make out something now, Dave. A man in a leather jacket. It's Hondo all right in the car. Holy smoke, there's a girl with him. Girl?
Good heavens, the ticket girl from the booth here.
I don't get Hondo's scheme. The roller coaster only goes around and ends up right here again.
Well, he could take a high dive from the top of this first incline into that water. Maybe get away from us after all in the dark. Purdy, how do you stop the coaster?
Oh, yes, right here, this big lever. It stopped.
Dave, Hondo's getting up. Starting to climb forward out of the car.
Fire a warning shot, Peters.
Come down, Hondo. He's firing back.
Holy smoke.
Peters, your gun. Yeah, but fast, Dave. He's almost out of the car.
Look out for the girl.
You got him, Dave.
Come on. We'll climb up that incline. Get him and the girl. What's that?
The car's slipping back. Uh-oh, something's broken. The sawtooth wheels in the middle of the track, they act as a brake.
Car's coming right down here and fast.
It'll be a crash. Stand back and pray for that girl. Come on. Take a look at the girl, Peters. How is she?
He just fainted. No cuts or anything.
What luck.
How about Hondo?
Here he is in the wreckage.
Your shot did it, Dave.
He was wilder than a wild animal, Peters. This is one case we can close without a trial. I can't say I'm sorry. It took us 6 hours.
When your friends drop in, be generous, but be thrifty, too. Serve plenty of delicious Pepsi-Cola. Pepsi's big 12-ounce bottle gives you not just one sparkling glassful, but two. Get a carton of 6 and serve 12 delicious drinks. Yes, Pepsi is America's biggest cola value. You get twice the tangy taste, twice the refreshment, twice the Pepsi. So why take less when Pepsi is best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
Pepsi-Cola, hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lot more value, lot more depth. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
Tune in every Tuesday and Thursday, same time, same station, to Counterspy. Listen on Thursday for the exciting Counterspy case of the murdering messenger.
The fast-talking man who posed as himself to impersonate someone else. The strange corpse that was discovered a quarter-mile deep in the earth. And the riverboat which carried a cargo of intrigue that exploded in the Crescent City. Be sure to tune in on Thursday for
Case of the Murdering Messenger on Counterspy. Tonight's Counterspy program originated in New York and featured Don McLaughlin and Mandel Kramer with music by Jesse Crawford. Counterspy is a Phillips H. Lord production for Pepsi-Cola. Enjoy some Pepsi, ice cold tonight. Pepsi-Cola, P-E-P-S-I, that's your smartest cola buy. Pepsi-Cola presents Counterspy.
Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy. Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy.
Harding, Counterspy. Calling Washington.
United States Counterspies, especially appointed to investigate and combat the enemies of our country, both at home and abroad.
Tonight, the case of the murdering messenger. Another Counterspy report to the American people. Brought to you each Tuesday and Thursday by Pepsi-Cola.
Pepsi-Cola, hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot.
That's right, you heard what they said. 2 full glasses of sparkling Pepsi from one big 12-ounce bottle. You're getting an extra glassful. And what a delicious glassful. The most refreshing, delightful cola that ever tickled your taste. You can't top Pepsi's tangy flavor. And that big, big bottle saves you money, goes twice as far. Pepsi's America's big, big favorite. And America's biggest cola value. So why take less when Pepsi's best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember.
Why take less when Pepsi is best?
And now to Counterspy. In espionage, the penalty for mistakes is death. Every member of the guilty spy ring is doomed by its faraway superiors. Yet the sentence is rarely carried out by direct means. The watchwords are concealment and mystery. In the city of Detroit, a small branch library stands in a quiet side street. One morning, a young man with eyes alert entered the building and went to the main reading room.
Excuse me, miss.
Yes, sir.
I want to turn this book in.
Julius Caesar's Commentaries. In the original Latin.
Yes.
You're quite a student, Mr. Argyle.
Caesar was quite a boy.
Are you taking out another book?
No, I'm leaving Detroit very soon. Goodbye, and thanks a lot.
Goodbye, Mr. Argyle.
I beg your pardon.
Yes, sir?
I was looking on the shelves for Julius Caesar's Commentaries, but it doesn't seem to be there.
No, it's right here. Our only copy was just returned a moment ago. Do you want to take it out?
Yes, please. Here's my library card. Harry J. Peters. From Peters, Counterspy Field Office, Detroit, to David Harding, Washington. I've just received coded report from Counterspy George Argyle, operating undercover inside foreign spy ring in United States. Code used, alternate word and line transposition. What are your orders?
Peters, have Memphis decoded in Detroit and hold there. I'm flying Detroit immediately.
Harding, this is the original message Argyle left for me in the library book, disguised as a letter home.
Thanks, David. Still addresses me as Aunt Bessie.
Here's the decoded transcript, Aunt Bessie.
Thanks, Tim. Dear Mr. Harding, trouble ahead. Last night, the only man in the spy ring I ever saw was killed in a car smash out on Woodward Avenue. A fake accident.
There was an accident, Dave, and a man was killed.
What's more, I've been ordered to leave my job in the turbojet factory here and go to Memphis, Tennessee. I think the superiors of the spy ring now realize that someone has fed them nothing but false information for a year. I don't believe they know I was the one, but evidently all members of the ring are to be moved around.
Oh, fine.
Yeah, I don't like that either, Peters. We still don't know who the other members of the ring are.
It may be getting dangerous. Want to pull Argyle out?
And lose 3 years of our work and preparation? Still, I don't want Argyle to be left entirely alone in Memphis.
Is Aunt Bessie worried?
Definitely. Argyle adds here that he'll be at the Hotel Lee. Peters, brush up on your southern accent. You're going to be there, too.
Mr. Argyle?
Yes?
I'm the hotel fire inspector.
Oh, come in. Good to see you, Peters.
Any news, Argyle?
I got this postcard today.
From the Southern Beauty Tourist Bureau, Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
Guided tours of historic Southland. See monuments and battlegrounds of the war between the states. Special feature, visit the High Mountain Caves.
You'll notice that last one is circled in red ink, the High Mountain Caves. And notice here in the schedule of tours...
Yes. Another circle of red ink around the date Thursday, 5 p.m.
Obviously, that's when my next contact with the spy ring's to be made.
Well, look, Argyle, I'd better join the group, too.
I think that'll be too risky, Peters. Those tourist groups aren't very large. Whoever the contact is will take a good look at everybody.
Well, how are you to be recognized?
My name is known to the ring. I'll simply give it when I buy my ticket for the tour. Then I'll just wait and see what happens.
Now, folks, we're pretty near finished our tour, the famous High Mountain Cave. Scene of beauty with the stalactites and stalagmites. Kind of scary, too. One more little demonstration before we step outside again into our lovely southern evening. This here underground river we've been following from one of these caves to another ends right here, you see, in a deep well or chasm. Leave me tell you, the fellow that falls down here ain't never coming up. You see this rock? I'm going to drop it down. Now, you have to listen hard to hear the splash. Ready? There she goes. Well, that was it. Now, if you'll be so good as to step to the exit there, the bus will return us to Memphis and to your hotels. Let's see, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Excuse me, folks. Wait out there just a minute. One of our members seems to be missing here. I'll locate it. I'll be right out here. Hey, mister. Mister? Hey, there you are.
Help, please. Good heavens, my friend. You've been stabbed.
Guide, get me to a doctor, quick.
But the knife.
Don't pull it out, dude.
But I must. Otherwise, how can I finish you off for good?
That's right, Mr. Harding, and it was my fault. I should have gone right with Argyle, no matter what he said.
Oh, now, don't blame yourself, Peters. You took every reasonable precaution. How are the police handling the case?
All members of the tour have been questioned except the guide. He's disappeared, so he must have been the murderer.
Peters, in my opinion, this spy ring isn't just being moved around. It's being wiped out.
Well, Dave, there's one way to make sure. Let me take Argyle's place.
That's a good idea, but how?
First, to slip in the papers that Argyle was only wounded. Second, I'll enter a hospital under his name.
The murderer will make another try, Peters.
All right, let him, Dave. That's exactly what we want.
Nurse, you said Mr. Argyle had this here room?
Go right in, sir.
Mr. Argyle, how fortunate you were to have lost nothing but a little blood. May I sit down by your bed? I was about to visit you at your hotel, Mr. Argyle, when I read in the papers of the attempt on your life in the High Mountain Cave. So I came straight here to the hospital. I'm surprised, if I may say so, to find you alive, receiving visitors.
It was only a flesh wound, Mr.
Forgive me, Mr. Argyle. My name is Anthony Blix, B-L-I-X, the Tri-State Travel Agency. The reason I was so anxious to see you was to give you this, your river steamship ticket from Memphis to New Orleans. The one you ordered through our office?
Oh, yes, of course.
The boat leaves on Tuesday, Mr. Argyle. Will you be able to travel?
I think so. I take it easy.
I'm delighted.
Will I be seeing you again, Mr. Blitz?
The world is growing so small, Mr. Argyle, I wouldn't be at all surprised. Oh, by the way, we were unable to get you a cabin entirely to yourself. I'm sorry to say you'll have a cabin mate. Goodbye.
To Aunt Bessie from Nephew Argyle. First contact made. Anthony Blix of the Tri-State Travel Agency, Memphis. Next contact may be somebody on riverboat to New Orleans.
Thank you, Stuart. Put my suitcase down here. Then you may go. I beg your pardon?
Good morning.
What are you doing in this cabin?
My ticket says I was booked in here.
Why are you lying down? Are you ill?
I'm recovering from an accident.
It's ridiculous.
There was nothing ridiculous about it.
I mean, you're being booked into this cabin when I was booked in here, too.
Obviously a mistake.
Obviously.
I'll have myself moved right
No. It's easier for me. You're halfway settled already. I'll ring for the steward.
Button's right here.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Mr.
Argyle.
Argyle. Well, I'm sorry I was angry. My name is Valerie Arden. Are you going to stay in New Orleans after we get there?
That's hard to say. How about you?
I live in New Orleans, Mr. Argyle, even though I'm English. Listen, Argyle, I had your next instructions.
Yes?
On reaching New Orleans, you're to see a man named Avery L. Clark, River Road, number 821.
Yes.
Tell him I sent you and say that you're applying for the job he has open in Los Angeles. Clear?
Clear. There's the steward.
Just a minute, steward. Well, Mr. Argyle, I do hope your fever's better.
It was a knife wound, Miss Arden.
A knife? Good gracious, if I had to kill anyone, I'd use poison or a gun, wouldn't you? Knives are so uncertain, aren't they?
To Aunt Betsy from Nephew Argyle. Boat contact made by one Valerie Arden. Next contact in New Orleans. Avery L. Clark, 821 River Road.
To Argyle from Aunt Betsy. On arriving New Orleans, register Hotel Esplanade. You will be given room 484. I will be there with Lieutenant Fabian of New Orleans Police. See you tonight.
Nice to know you, Peters, or Argyle. Which is it?
Peters will be safe, Lieutenant Fabian, in this hotel room anyway. Any news, Mr. Harding?
Well, I've ordered a complete checkup on that man Blix back in Memphis, Peters. I expect a report very soon.
About Valerie Arden, Peters. She really lives here in New Orleans, runs a high-toned gift shop. About Avery L. Clark, all we know is that he's in the sugar business.
Well, Dave, Valerie Arden said I'm to talk to Clark about going to Los Angeles.
Well, I think that's just talk, Peters. I'm pretty sure now that every member of this spy ring is marked for death by its own employers abroad. Clark may try to kill you.
I'll have to take that chance, Dave.
Peters, did either Blix or the woman act like they suspected you're not the real Argyle?
No, Lieutenant. But the guide who murdered Argyle in the caves would know I'm not the right man.
Well, that's the big risk, Peters. The Blix and the girl have somehow been warned by the murderer, or just leading you on. Now, when are you to see Clark?
The longer I wait, the bigger the risk. I think I'll go right now. 821 River Road.
Well, what is it? What is it? Well, don't stand there on the porch gaping.
I'm sorry. May I ask who you are?
I'm Mr. Clark's housekeeper. Come from Oklahoma, and I don't like New Orleans, and I don't like the riffraff that comes to see Mr. Clark. See him you want to see, I guess.
Yes. My name's Argyle.
Well, come in, young man, but don't expect me to announce you. He's in the living room. You can go right in and announce yourself.
All right, thank you.
And tell him not to ring for drinks because I got the baking to do.
Mr. Clark?
Yes.
My name's Argyle.
Come in.
I met a Valerie Arden on the boat from Memphis. She says you need a man for a job in Los Angeles.
Yeah, gal. Somebody's trying to wipe us out. They tried to get you in Memphis, didn't they? You see? First you, now me.
You? Do you know who's trying it?
What individual? No. But death for everybody. That's the High Command's way of punishing failures. Look at that double window behind me.
One pane is broken.
3 bullets did it 10 minutes ago. Those 3 bullets are now in my back.
What?
Yeah.
You need a doctor.
That's no use. I'm going to die. Whether you're my friend or my enemy, Argyle, never sit with your back to a window. Now, you better get out of here. You'll be caught for my murder.
Clark.
Say, Mr. Clark, about the bacon, I got to say you. What's the matter with him?
He's dead. He was murdered.
Murdered? Oh, he's all blood. You murdered him, you riffraff. You murdered him.
No, I didn't. Listen, I want you to call the police.
Me, if you didn't kill him, why don't you call them? Where are you going?
I'm getting out of here.
Getting out, you murdering riffraff? But you won't get away with murder. I'm calling the police, and I'm shouting from the housetop. You murdering riffraff? They'll catch you! They'll catch you!
Hey, you.
What?
You're under arrest, buddy. There was a murder. You're under arrest.
Are you the police?
Yeah, me and my friend here. Come on.
Where?
We got a car. Come on, snap it.
I'd like to see your credentials.
Credentials?
Papers to prove you're police.
Sure. Hey, Bang, show him, what do you call them, credentials? There's our credentials, buddy. Come on, Bing, we're taking this your guy for a ride.
Back to Counterspy in just a moment. But first...
Pepsi-Cola, hits the spot, 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lots more value, lots more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
More and more, among fellows and girls, among mothers and dads, you hear that sane and sensible question, why take less when Pepsi's best? No budget, no allowance ever had a better friend than tangy, sparkling Pepsi-Cola. Because one big 12-ounce Pepsi bottle gives you 2 delicious drinks. That's twice as much tangy taste, twice as much delicious Pepsi, to go just twice as far. That's why more and more families say, why take less when Pepsi's best? Yes, families like yours and mine, families all over America, they're all saying, why take less when Pepsi's best?
Pepsi-Cola so delicious, and each bottle makes 2 drinks. It is certainly the cola for the purchaser who thinks everybody's drinking Pepsi. Just compare it with the rest. So much more and so much finer. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
Today, tomorrow, always. Get America's biggest cola value. Take home a carton of 6 big Pepsi bottles. Insist on Pepsi at the store. And say Pepsi at the fountain. Say Pepsi at the stand. Say Pepsi. Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now, back to Counterspy. It is late night on the shores of Lake Pontchartrain outside New Orleans. A house with all blinds shut stands secluded behind a grove of cypress trees. And inside the lonely house...
Well, Mr. Argyle, I must say you took a long time to recover your senses.
Oh, Miss Valerie Arden. Were you the one who hit me on the head?
Good gracious, no, Mr. Argyle. That was Bing. For your information, we're in my house, and both Bing and George are in the very next room.
That's interesting.
I brought along some brandy. I thought you might need it.
How about you?
Oh, I don't need a thing. I haven't committed a murder.
Meaning Clark, hmm? Who did it?
You?
Me? You know better than that. Your men must have been watching.
Clark's housekeeper said you did it.
So you grabbed her, too. You work fast.
I couldn't afford to have her screeching all over New Orleans.
Neither could I.
Until I was sure her screeching was useful.
Useful?
You're a counter-spy, aren't you, Mr. Argyle?
If I were a counter-spy, I wouldn't have shot Clark. I'd have arrested him, wouldn't I? Clark told me somebody was trying to wipe all of us out. Is that you?
He's crazy.
Not anymore. He's dead.
What? It's a wild idea. It's absolutely fantastic.
Who's next? Blix?
You saw Blix in Memphis, didn't you?
In the hospital, yes. But you were in Memphis, too. You could have arranged my little knifing. You could have shot Clark tonight.
Mr. Argyle, I think I will have some brandy.
With pleasure.
Thank you.
You're really scared, aren't you? So I guess it's not you who's trying to wipe us out. It's Blix.
Mr. Argyle, why couldn't you be the one sent out from the Home Office to get rid of us all?
If I were, why would I have stabbed myself back in that Tennessee cave?
Wounds can be faked. Where were you knifed?
Here, in the side.
Right there.
Oh. It's really tried to hit me there.
I've made sure you were knifed.
Yes, haven't you? That knocks out your theory of my being the official killer.
But not of your being a counter-spy. Maybe you could fool Blix alone, or me alone. But not the two of us together. Suppose we settle that now. Tonight.
How? Blix is way up in Memphis.
Oh, no. He arrived here in New Orleans this morning, and in a few minutes he can be here, and we can find out whether he murdered Clark. And whether or not you're a counter-spy. I shall phone him, Mr. Argyle. Meantime, have another drink, won't you?
Harding speaking. Go ahead.
Lieutenant Fabian, Mr. Harding, I got bad news.
Let's hear it, Lieutenant.
We saw Peters come out of Clark's house fast. But before he could reach us, two men grabbed him and took him away in a car.
Did you follow?
Oh, we lost him on a turn, Mr. Harding, so we went back to the house and found Clark shot to death. You any idea where Peters is?
No. But I'm on my way to your headquarters with a report on Blix from Memphis. He was the one who abducted the real guide in the caves, took his place, and murdered Argyle.
But Blix knows Peters is not Argyle. He's lucky they caught him in Memphis.
They didn't catch him in Memphis, Lieutenant. He's probably here in New Orleans right now. And he's the one who knows that Peters is a plant. We've got to find him and stay close to him, or Peters won't live out the night.
My dear Valerie, how exquisite you look, as always.
Hello, Blix. We've been waiting for you.
And Mr. Argyle, as I suggested in Memphis, it is a small world, isn't it?
And getting smaller.
Blix, something's gone seriously wrong among us. Clark was killed earlier tonight.
Oh?
Perhaps because he became too expensive. Like you, Blix. And me. And Mr. Argyle.
I wasn't aware that Mr. Argyle was so expensive.
He is. If he's really a counter-spy.
She's crazy.
Blix, you ought to know. You saw Argyle in Memphis. He is a counter-spy. Bing and Georgia handy. They can take care of him tonight.
Valerie, you're being ridiculous. I trust Mr. Argyle as much as I trust you.
And how much is that? If Argyle's to be trusted, then who tried to kill him? Who murdered Clark? Blix, have you been sent here to get rid of us all?
Valerie.
What?
I heard a car outside for your men.
In the front room. What?
Go and ask them about the car.
But...
Please trust me, Valerie. Go and see it.
Very well.
Listen, Argyle, don't waste a second. Both our lives depend on it. I know you're not really Argyle. I've known since I saw you in the hospital in Memphis. I realized then that my game was up, so I sent you along to meet Valerie and Clark purposely, as evidence of my goodwill. You are a counterspy, aren't you?
What if I were?
I'm ready to tell you everything you want to know about the spy group in exchange for your letting me go free.
So you're the man sent out to wipe out this group?
The information the real Argyle sent us turned out all wrong. All of us are supposed to pay for that.
You don't add up, Blix. If you've been betraying your own friends by exposing Valerie Arden and Clark to me, why did you murder Clark?
A shrewd question, Mr. Argyle, or whatever your real name is. Frankly, I thought it best at the last moment to make myself look good, both to my own people at home and to you. Whatever happened, I'd have a good story to tell.
Smart boy.
Now, if you're really a counter-spy, to let me go free, I can save us both from this woman, those two pluggerlets. If not, I'll have to kill you. Now.
Did you really hear a car outside?
Of course not. What's your answer?
I'm sure I heard a car. Maybe two.
You're evading my question, Mr. Argyle. That means that you're not a counter-spy. Yes, I see I've made a mistake. That's easily corrected with a gun.
Drop your gun, Blix. The house is surrounded.
What? Drop it, Blix!
Got it, Mr. Harding.
Sorry. That was so close, Peter.
It's all right now. How about the woman?
Lieutenant Fabian, these men are out front. They've already got her and her two gunmen. And here we've got the murderer of Argyle and of Clark, haven't we?
Mr. Harding, you mistake me. I just made an important offer to this gentleman here. A full report.
Blix, I'll make you an offer. You give us that full report, and we'll see that it reaches the government that employed you. They wanted this ring wiped out. Now you can report complete success with some help from the counter-spies.
When your friends drop in, be generous, but be thrifty, too. Serve plenty of delicious Pepsi-Cola. Pepsi's big 12-ounce bottle gives you not just one sparkling glassful, but two. Get a carton of 6 and serve 12 delicious drinks. Yes, Pepsi is America's biggest cola value. You get twice the tangy taste, twice the refreshment, twice the Pepsi. So why take less when Pepsi is best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
Pepsi-Cola, hits the spot, 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lot more value, lot more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
Tune in every Tuesday and Thursday, same time, same station to Counterspy. Listen next Tuesday for the exciting Counterspy case of a cold-blooded professor.
The secret cellar that hid the mysterious inventions of a calculating killer. The dark patches on the square film that indicated the suspect would visit a certain type of store, and the hit-and-run victim who used a leg hook and kick to catch the carrier of vitriolic acid off guard. That's next Tuesday's Counterspy. Make sure to tune in to
Case of a Cold-Blooded Killer on Counterspy. Tonight's Counterspy program originated in New York, was directed by William M. Sweets, and featured Don McLaughlin and Mandel Kramer, with music by Jesse Crawford. Counterspy is a Phillips H. Lord production for Pepsi-Cola. Enjoy some Pepsi, ice cold tonight. Pepsi-Cola, P-E-P-S-I, that's your smartest cola buy. Pepsi-Cola presents Counterspy.
Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy. Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy.
Harding, Counterspy, calling Washington.
States Counterspies, especially appointed to investigate and combat the enemies of our country, both at home and abroad.
Tonight, the case of the cold-blooded professor. Another Counterspy report to the American people. Brought to you each Tuesday and Thursday by Pepsi-Cola.
Pepsi-Cola, hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot.
That's right, you heard what they said. 2 full glasses of sparkling Pepsi from one big 12-ounce bottle. You're getting an extra glass full. And what a delicious glass full. The most refreshing, delightful cola that ever tickled your taste. You can't top Pepsi's tangy flavor. And that big bottle saves you money. Goes twice as far. Pepsi's America's big favorite. And America's biggest cola value. So why take less when Pepsi's best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now, to Counterspy. The sun was just fading, and the shadows were disappearing along a country road about 100 miles west of Chicago, on the outskirts of a certain college town, Lipton, Illinois. A large black sedan, moving slowly, came to a full stop, and the driver spoke to a farmer beside the road.
Say, I wonder if you can tell me that house up on the hill there, for rent?
Oh, no, that's the professor's.
Oh, Professor who?
Horn, Professor Horn.
He teach at the college here?
No, everybody says he's a genius. Writes big articles for scientific papers. Inventor, too.
How long has he lived there?
Oh, about 5 years. Nice feller when he comes to town. Nice smile. Folks like him.
Do you have many visitors?
Don't seem to like visitors, mister. Got a lady housekeeper, though.
Oh, is she a nice person?
Oh, you can take her or leave her. About 50. Homely. Good, I guess, but homely.
How old is Professor Horn?
Oh, pressing 57 hard, maybe. Say, you want to know an awful lot, mister. Going up there?
I might. Thanks for the information. Goodbye.
Professor Horn, where do you want these books to go?
The left-hand shelf, Anna, next to the books on nuclear fission.
I must say I'd be glad to see a plain, ordinary novel in this library for once.
My dear, the only books worth reading are scientific, factual works.
Look at these. The Anatomy of Toxicology. Treatise on Molecular Growth and Decay. What's this one?
My scientific diary. I'll put that one away.
In that closet you never wanted me to look in? Oh, you should let me do that. Your lame leg gets tired so easy.
You know I never want my leg mentioned, Anna.
And I never could understand why you won't let me go down cellar and see some of your inventions.
I have a lifelong principle, Anna. Better to anticipate than to regret. Meanwhile, please bear in mind that I pay you well, and this does not include your asking questions.
Somebody's at the door. There's a black sedan in the driveway.
Go see who it is, but don't bring anyone in unless absolutely necessary.
I won't, Professor.
Close that door, Anna.
Of course. Yes?
I'd like to see Professor Horn, please.
He's busy.
My credentials.
L.D. Cameron, United States Counterspies. This way, Mr. Cameron.
Thank you.
Professor Horn, Mr. Cameron of the Counterspies.
Thank you, Anna. That will be all. Mr. Cameron, I live on an ironclad schedule. I should now be in my laboratory downstairs, hard at work. I trust you can be brief.
2 nights ago, at 11:07 p.m. in Amberville, 42 miles south of here, the Farmers Exchange Bank was robbed of $121,000 in cash. The robber used a very ingenious electronic method of silencing the vault alarm system. However, the car used by the robber went through a puddle of oil and left certain tire tracks. Am I being brief enough?
No. But continue.
Every garage within 50 miles of Amberville has been checked for a car with those treads. The car in your garage has those tire treads.
That's a coincidence, Mr. Cameron.
That's no coincidence, Professor Horn. I'm placing you under arrest on suspicion of robbing the Amberville Bank.
Well, this is upsetting, Mr. Cameron.
Leave that drawer alone. Put your hands in the air. I said put your hands in the air.
As you say.
I heard a shot. What happened?
Oh, I see. But how'd you shoot him? There's no gun in your hand, Professor.
See under my coat, Anna? My invention, a small flat-handled gun strapped alongside my chest.
And a wire up through your sleeve.
When I raised my hand, it fired the gun. Now, no more questions. We're leaving, Anna. Help me unpack the closet.
So at last I'll see what you keep in there. Money. Stacks of money.
You will pack this money into those 2 suitcases, Anna.
All right. How about these 2 small packages?
I don't touch them.
What?
I'm never going to be captured alive, Anna. There's enough explosive in this package to kill me and anyone else around. And this is a bottle of vitriolic powder to throw into police officers' faces in close quarters. It burns frightfully.
I hope you never have to use it.
As I told you, it is better to anticipate than to regret. You will pack this too, Anna.
Why, Professor Horn, you've been wearing a wig.
Some fools wait until they're escaping to disguise themselves. I've been disguising myself for 10 years. Now I'll return to what I really look like.
You look 10 years younger without that wig.
And one thing more. This built-up shoe, which has made it appear that I limp. 2 good legs.
So you haven't been lame at all.
Professor Horn has now disappeared off the face of the earth. From now on, Anna, you will call me Mr. Harris. Now, let us get on with the packing.
What about the body of that man on the floor?
Oh, I have everything planned, Anna. Beautifully planned. The 3 of us are leaving together. We've been driving some time, Anna. You getting hungry?
Yes, Professor Mr. Harris.
Here, I have some candy bars in my pocket. Take one.
Thank you. Mr. Harris, do you know where this side road goes?
Yes, through the most deserted portion of the state.
Even so, Cameron's body may be found over there in the barn.
Oh, not for weeks. If there.
You think the car's safe?
I'll get rid of it as soon as I've hidden my money and securities in these hills against the future.
What will we live on meanwhile?
And I can get all the money I want any time. You forget my constant studies of crime techniques, of scientific methods, even of murder, by accident, by weapons, and by poison. Wasn't the candy bar good, Anna?
I can't see you. You poisoned me.
Of course, Anna. You're the only person in the world who knows what I really look like. How could you expect to go on living?
Washington, from Edwards in Chicago field office. Counterspy L.D. Cameron vanished while investigating Amberville bank robbery. Local farmer reports talking with Cameron about a Professor Emery Horn of Lipton, Illinois. Horn's house checked. Blood spots on library floor. Horn, housekeeper Anna Cable, and car have also vanished. Advice.
Chicago, from Harding. Peters and I are flying to join you at Professor Horn's house immediately. Allow nothing to be disturbed. Peters, one of the strangest houses I've ever been in.
Yes. And people in the town say it's haunted, Mr. Harding.
It is, Edwards, with the invisible presence of a fantastically clever man. In the entire house, not one fingerprint, except of the woman.
Several tradespeople in the town say Horn always wore gloves.
Always?
Horn spread the story that he once burned his hands very badly in an experiment.
It might be true, Peters. Again, it might not.
He saw his laboratory in the cellar.
Yeah. And look at these books. Chemurgy and Practical Applications. Calculus and the Theory of Relativity. Works on atomic energy, chemistry, poison, explosives.
It's an extraordinary man to absorb all that, Dave.
Horn's obviously extraordinary. And a genius at covering up. We know one of our own men was murdered here, and there's not a clue.
Not even one piece of handwriting.
Well, this man may strike again soon. Edwards.
Yeah.
Instruct every counterspy field office throughout the country to report immediately all crimes committed for gain, except where the criminal is definitely known.
Yes, sir.
Now, I'm leaving for a while.
What are you up to, Dave?
Somewhere there's a clue to this man. I want to flounder around a little by myself. See what I can turn up. Dr. Connors, in one of the grocery stores in town, a clerk told me that a year ago Professor Horn wasn't feeling well, and that led me to you.
Yes, Mr. Harding, I did treat Professor Horn a year or so ago. Now, this is the record of his visit, Mr. Harding.
Did he pay you by cash or check?
Cash to my nurse. I recall he wore gray doeskin gloves throughout his visit here.
Did he mention having burned his hands?
Yes, but he never removed the gloves in my presence.
Oh. Did he limp or walk normally?
Well, frankly, Mr. Harding, I didn't notice. But one thing may interest you. I took some x-rays of his stomach. Here, let me show you. These three show all that's important.
These small, darker patches. Ulcers?
Peptic ulcers. A severe case, Mr. Harding. A Horn is one of those apparently iron-nerved men. He gives few outward signs of emotion.
They often make the mistake of thinking they have no emotion.
Well, actually, they do. And their nervousness and emotion seek other outlets. In this case, peptic ulcers caused by a very high-strung nervous condition.
Doctor, did you give him a prescription?
Yes, a special bismuth powder compound. He tried them, and they gave him relief.
Do you think he's cured of his ulcers yet?
Well, I would doubt it very much.
Well, Doctor, he'll be buying bismuth powders more or less regularly.
Well, I assume so, Mr. Harding.
Dr. Connors, I'm very grateful to you. This is the first clue to this cold-blooded scientific killer we've found. The big question is, where will he strike next?
Miss Lawrence, file these chemical orders, please.
But, Mr. Johnson, I never handle these local Denver orders.
Miss Lawrence will... What is it? What's the matter with all of you?
Good day, everybody. Why stop working?
Don't point those guns at us.
Are you the boss here?
Why, yes.
I like your desk. Move away from it quickly.
Yes, all right.
Now listen, everyone. I have only a few seconds. I've just robbed the finance company office down the hall of $130,000. And there's a big commotion on the ground floor. Of course, the police expect me to leave that way, but instead I'm going to put my 2 guns on this desk, cover them with this newspaper. Now, get this. In a moment, the police may come in here. If one of you makes a false move, I shoot. And I'm a perfect shot. Does everybody understand? Now, I have a camera here, and I'm going to be taking your pictures.
We're detectives. Anybody see anything of a stranger? A hold-up man?
Why, no, officer. Speak up. Did anyone here see anybody who might be a hold-up man?
Place down the hall was stuck up. He got away.
I hope you catch him, Lieutenant, but just a moment. I'm taking some pictures for our sales convention. Would you mind standing there just a second, please?
Don't be a fool.
No. Keep the gun in your hand.
Kind of nonsense.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
If anybody sees any suspicious-looking stranger, tell the officers who are posted in the hall.
Yes, we certainly will.
Okay.
I owe you all my thanks. You behaved very well.
Why don't you leave us alone?
Why, young lady, I couldn't think of it yet. Stand over here, will you? I want a photograph of you.
Me?
That's good. Yes, you are pretty. Smile, can't you?
I can't.
Oh, come now. I want a picture of that sincere, honest face. So different from your employer's.
What do you mean?
I noticed the chemical ingredients in that container on the shelf. The cetapenium, 2% elixir of dichlorosulfate, and trichnobiborate and colloidal suspension. An entirely ineffective combination, my dear fellow. Now, my dear, let's smile. Come. A lovely girl like you can always smile. That's it. Hold it. Thank you. And now, everybody, I'm going out of that door. My guns are in my pockets. Remember, I have photographs of all of you. If any one of you talks to the police, I'll come back and shoot. All clear? Good day. And goodbye to you, my dear.
Before we go back to Counterspy, please listen.
Pepsi-Cola, hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lot more value, lot more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
More and more, among fellows and girls, among mothers and dads, you hear that sane and sensible question, why take less when Pepsi's best? No budget, no allowance ever had a better friend than tangy, sparkling Pepsi-Cola. Because one big 12-ounce Pepsi bottle gives you 2 delicious drinks. That's twice as much tangy taste, twice as much delicious Pepsi to go just twice as far. That's why more and more families say, why take less when Pepsi is best? Yes, families like yours and mine, families all over America. They're all saying, why take less when Pepsi is best?
Pepsi-Cola so delicious, and each bottle makes 2 drinks. It is certainly the cola for the purchaser who thinks everybody's drinking Pepsi. Just compare it with the rest. So much more and so much finer. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
Today, tomorrow, always. Get America's biggest cola value. Take home a carton of 6 big Pepsi bottles. Insist on Pepsi at the store. And say Pepsi at the fountain. Say Pepsi at the stand. Say Pepsi. Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
Why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now, back to Counterspy. David Harding and his assistant, Harry Peters, are in the communications room of the Counterspy field office in Chicago.
Dave, from this report of that big robbery in Denver yesterday, I have a hunch it was Professor Horn.
So have I, Peters. The cleverness of the planning, the daring, the camera gag.
But no gloves and no limp.
No, I can't account for that.
And from the description, he must have been 10 or 15 years younger than Horn.
Yes, but it's the tricky method of committing the crime that strikes me hardest.
What's our move?
We'll send out this new description of him to all police and Counterspy field officers. Also, a description to all druggists in Colorado. Instruct them to watch for a stranger who may come in and order a bismuth powder compound. A man similar to this new description.
Edwards, from the Denver field office to David Harding. Denver druggist reports that a man answering description of Professor Horn came in to have a bismuth powder compound prescription filled. The druggist expects the man to return in 2 hours for the prescription.
Harding to Denver. Set up spot surveillance of suspect immediately, but do not alarm him. He may carry explosives or poison for self-destruction. I'm joining you by jet plane.
Hardly any noise, Dave. Jet planes for me from now on.
Yes, remind me to ask for a jet-propelled transport model on the next bus.
Uh-oh, Denver reporting.
Right. Go ahead, Denver.
Edwards reporting from the drugstore where Horn just got his medicine. We have a walkie-talkie set up with all agents conducting surveillance. You want to be cut in?
You bet your life I do.
Then I'll have you cut in, sir. The suspect has turned out of my sight. Our next agent is in Sedan, 1 block up. Agent D. Agent D, is the suspect in your sight?
Suspect is walking down the other side of the street from me, taking his time. Uh-oh, he's walking fast now. Heading straight up the street. Edwards should be near him now in a taxi cab. How about it, Edwards? Come in, Edwards.
Edwards reporting again, Mr. Harding. I'm now in a taxi, cruising about 100 feet behind Horn, who's walking faster now. Maybe for the bus station on the corner. Uh-oh.
What is it?
A very pretty girl out of the crowd to meet him. He kisses her. Now they're heading for one of the buses.
Edwards, order one of our agents to drive ahead and get on the bus. We'll be with you in Denver in another hour. Yes, Edwards. What's the layout?
Horn and the girl entered that bungalow there.
The place is almost entirely dark.
Living room lights are on, but all the blinds are down.
The place surrounded?
Yeah, set up big. 2 men at each post. You want to rush the house?
I want Horn alive. There's no telling what trick he might pull. Let me have your walkie-talkie.
Here.
Thanks. Harding to Peters. Peters. Pull all agents back to setup C, farther from the house. Come over to see me. We have to work out a different plan of attack. And it's got to be done.
Emery, you play beautifully.
Thank you, my dear.
I saw you had a package from the drugstore. You're not sick or anything.
Oh, no, dear. They're just bismuth powders. They help my stomach.
Emery,
Yes, Gilda.
I feel very happy with you.
I'm glad.
Funny. Sometimes, once in a while, you meet someone you feel you've known all your life.
It's only been 3 days, Gilda.
I feel as though I'd known you all my life. And still I don't know a thing about you except that I love you.
That's very sweet, Gilda.
On second thought, I do know something about you. Something you try to hide from me.
And, what is that, Gilda?
I guess you do it because you really think I'm not very bright.
Gilda, what is it?
You're brilliant. The books you talk about, your remarks about things in the newspapers, on the radio, and then you say it's nothing.
Compared to you, my dear, it is nothing.
Emery, there's something else I know.
You're not as unobserving as I thought, Gilda.
I mean, I think you've almost asked me to marry you, and Emery, if you do, I will.
Gilda, you're ready.
Oh, what was that?
Car crashed into the lamppost right in front of the house.
Oh, no.
Man seems to have been thrown from it. No. He was hit by the car. The car's racing way down the street.
Those hit-and-run drivers. We've got to help him.
Oh, wait, Gilda.
Well, we can't let him lie there.
Well, very well. I'll go with you.
Oh, he's badly hurt. His face is all bloody. Let's move him up on the lawn.
No, Gilda. You must never move an injured person.
Poor man, all that blood.
Let me have a closer look. Bones broken? No. Shock, probably very serious. Head contusions and a brace. Well, that's funny.
What is it, Emery?
I could just see better in this light. See what, Horn? What?
What are you...
There's a trick. That's right.
Who are you? What are you doing? What's that? I got to get away from me. You hear me? Get away from me.
Hold it, Peter. All right, get the handcuffs on. I've got him, Dave. Keep that wildcat off my back.
Let me go. You let me go.
All right, young woman. We're United States counterspies. You'd better be glad this happened. In another week, you'd have been as dead as Anna Cable, this man's housekeeper, and counterspy agent Cameron.
I can't believe it.
You were right, Dave. Here's the vial on him, and I'm betting it's explosive. All right, Harding. I don't know how you found me, but you'll never keep me. Until you go to the death house, I'll see that you're kept in the safest penitentiary in the country, Horn. Come on, get going.
When your friends drop in, be generous, but be thrifty, too. Serve plenty of delicious Pepsi-Cola. Pepsi's big 12-ounce bottle gives you not just one sparkling glassful, but two. Get a carton of 6 and serve 12 delicious drinks. Yes, Pepsi is America's biggest cola value. You get twice the tangy taste, twice the refreshment, twice the Pepsi. So why take less when Pepsi is best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lot more value, lot more debt. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
Tune in every Tuesday and Thursday, same time, same station to Counterspy. Listen on Thursday for the exciting Counterspy case of the cold-blooded professor.
That's right. For we never expected that Professor Horn would cause your counterspies many more frantic hours. Only Professor Horn would use prison pants that had been washed in lemon juice, or create a new appearance by stealing watch crystals and mixing them with flour, water, and wire, and escape from an escape-proof penitentiary. Be sure to tune in on Thursday, day after tomorrow, for
File number 2, Case of the Cold-Blooded Professor, on Counterspy. Tonight's Counterspy program originated in New York and featured Don McLaughlin and Mandel Kramer with music by Jesse Crawford. Counterspy is a Phillips H. Lord production for Pepsi-Cola. Enjoy some Pepsi, ice cold tonight. Pepsi-Cola, P-E-P-S-I, that's your smartest cola buy. Pepsi-Cola presents Counterspy.
Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy. Washington calling David Harding, Counterspy.
Harding, Counterspy. Calling Washington.
United States Counterspies, especially appointed to investigate and combat the enemies of our country, both at home and abroad.
Tonight, more in the case of the cold-blooded professor. Another Counterspy report to the American people. Brought to you each Tuesday and Thursday by Pepsi-Cola.
Pepsi-Cola hits the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot.
That's right, you heard what they said. 2 full glasses of sparkling Pepsi from one big 12-ounce bottle. You're getting an extra glass full. And what a delicious glass full. The most refreshing, delightful cola that ever tickled your taste. You can't top Pepsi's tangy flavor. And that big, big bottle saves you money. Goes twice as far. Pepsi's America's big, big favorite. And America's biggest cola value. So why take less when Pepsi is best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now, to Counterspy. It is doubtful if as many warning flashes ever went out about any criminal as were flashed by the United States counterspies concerning one Professor Emory Horn.
Professor Emory Horn is a mastermind of crime. He is a constant danger to all peaceful citizens.
Professor Horn murdered a counterspy agent with a special flat-handled gun strapped to his chest. He poisoned his housekeeper with poisoned candy. Finally captured by the counterspies, Horn arrogantly described these methods of murder in detail.
Tried and sentenced to death, Professor Horn was held in the safest penitentiary in the country, pending his execution. A few months ago, Professor Horn consulted a prison doctor about his badly infected upper lip.
You're quite a character, Horn.
While addressing me, Doctor, kindly use my title.
Oh, of course. Professor Horn. Only who made you a professor?
The only person in the world who's qualified. Myself.
Mm-hmm. 4 armed guards, and still we're in the prison walls.
Within the prison walls, Doctor.
All right. Hold still now. I don't understand why your upper lip isn't healing. This is a bad infection.
I believe the lack of healing is due to hyperproteinemia. Prison food is lacking thiamine hydrochloride and niacinamide.
No? Really think you know medicine, don't you?
Pardon me if I speak medically over your head, Doctor. But then ignorance always irritates me. There's hair around that infection.
All right. I'll have to cover your whole upper lip with adhesive again.
How long were you a horse, Doctor?
I'm sorry if I hurt you.
Really?
I hear you made 6 attempts to escape in 2 months, Horn. Professor Horn.
How news does travel.
That's only 10 days more till you're transferred to the death house.
You have a morbid mind, haven't you?
No. I was only going to tell you that
Ironic as it may be, those ulcers you had for so long are cured.
Through no doing of yours, Doctor, I'm sure.
Okay. Get going, Professor. Out that way.
Bugs. Are you awake?
Well, these prison mattresses ain't ironed it down, you know.
Well put, Bugs. This cell is getting on my nerves, too. You hungry, Bugs?
You said it.
Here's a sugar cookie I took from the mess.
You could steal the nose off the warden right while he was looking.
Here, eat it.
Thanks.
And put the crumbs in your pocket.
Why should I go putting cookie crumbs in my pocket?
You figure that one out, and I wouldn't have had to plan your escape for you.
Who's escaping?
Both of us. You one way, I another.
How?
You've noticed I've been bringing back little pieces of lemon from the main dining hall.
That's when I knew you was nuts.
In my mattress, I have an extra pair of prison pants. Lemons contain acetic acid, and acetic acid bleaches. I've been bleaching those pants with lemon juice, and now they're as white as any duck pants.
Sometimes I think you're a witch. Hey, where'd you pinch them glasses?
They're horn-rimmed spectacles, Bugs. You ever see a little piece of wire lying around in the recreation yard?
Sure.
Well, there are lots of little pieces like those, and I've been collecting them, winding them together, and bending them into these eye frames and earpieces. The next step was to unravel threads from the bottom of these trousers and wrap them around the strands of wire to thicken them.
Yeah, that's just right.
And then I had to give the strands a smooth surface. A paste of flour and water did that.
Yeah, but where did you get the glass in them?
Plastic crystals, stolen from the wristwatches of other prisoners. And with my new mustache...
Hey, now, wait a minute. You ain't got no mustache.
What do you think is under this adhesive tape on my upper lip?
You said you scratched your lip.
I did. On purpose. With a dirty pin to make sure the infection continued. My excuse to keep the adhesive on.
And all the time you were growing a mustache under it. Okay, so now you got white pants, a pair of specs, a mustache. But why go to all that trouble just to bust out over the wall?
Bugs, ever notice in the corner of our recreation room there's a pile of old building plans, blueprints of model houses, things like that?
Yeah.
At the right moment, I'll suddenly become a building contractor inspecting the building. I'll walk right out to freedom and the execution of a plan I have in mind.
Holy smoke, Professor. You sure? You sure?
Having trouble, Bugs?
This pain in my insides. I feel like I'm dying.
Bugs, you aren't dying. That cookie was poison.
Help me. I don't want to die.
I can't anymore. That poison I made scraps of garbage, bits of toothbrush handle, and soap is too strong and quick, Bud.
Then find out that you've done this.
Oh, no. The crumbs I made you put in your pocket, they'll prove you stole the cookie yourself.
All right. You rotten.
Guard!
What's eating you, Professor? Hey, what's with Bugs?
I'm afraid it's my fault, Guard.
You killed him, Professor?
He confessed to me about a murder he'd committed the police never knew about. He was eating a cookie. He must have poisoned it. He must have committed suicide right under my eyes.
Listen, when we come to the corner, I'm ducking out into that little anteroom off the recreation hall. Cover my place in line so they won't miss me. I need at least 3.5 minutes. Now, the bleached trousers. Glasses. Adhesive tape off. Now, there's the mustache. Now the blueprints. And into the hall. 50 yards to freedom. 3 minutes left before I miss. Guard.
Hey, who are you?
I'm the architect's assistant working on alterations to be made in this prison.
Yeah? I didn't hear nothing about no alterations. How did you get into the prison?
By the entrance on the other side with the rest of our staff. Has this desk you're seated at always been located at this spot?
Yeah. 12 years now. Says I can watch this inside gate.
An automatic slide gate controlled from here?
No. When the gate's to be opened, I phone the main gate room and they push a button. Oh,
and
listen.
This gate slides open. Will you demonstrate, please? My dear man, I'm in a hurry. I've got to know how these things work.
All right. Erickson, gate number 2. Open her up. Some architect guy. Yeah. Okay. Now she'll open. Well, there's your gate.
Fine. Thank you.
Hey, you want to see her clothes again?
Yes, please. Slow it, fool. One more take that in there, left. Hey, you! You can't just walk out of here. I'm connected with a building contractor.
You got to sign out with me. Then I got to check it to the main gate room. They check it with your signature when you sign in.
Yes, all right. But first you've got to show me how this gate works. We're planning alterations. We may have to move this platform that you sit on.
Oh. Well, the gate there is controlled by this button here.
But the inner gate's controlled from the main gate room. Why is this one easier?
They figure anybody gets past that gate has a right to leave.
Oh, we may have to change that. I want a closer look at the gate itself. Push the button now, please. Thank you. Hey! You coming back? No, my work here's all done. You can close the gate. Okay.
Helen? Harry Peters. Mr. Hardy's not in his office here. I'll try all the departments.
Attention, all Counterspy departments. Is Mr. Harding on the main floor? Rush report for you, Mr. Harding. Rush report. Attention, all Counterspy departments. This is David Harding. I just learned that Professor Emery Horn has made an amazing escape from Altalanda Penitentiary. All trace of him has been lost. All information having even a faint bearing on the professor. Rush to me, top priority.
Dave, I was sure we had the professor salted away for good.
He's fantastically clever, Peters.
Now he's loose again, a vicious killer.
But I smell trouble during his trial, Peters. The amazing knowledge of legal tricks he passed on to his defense lawyer almost saved him from the chair. But we're going to get him again if it's the last case I ever handle.
I don't think I've ever seen you so angry, Dave.
He's killed 2 state troopers, a woman accomplice, a counter-spy agent, probably a fellow convict. I'm never going to give up on that man.
We haven't got one lead on him.
Then we'll have to start back at the beginning. Now, we know that for some years Horn posed as a scientist and lived quietly in a small town in Illinois.
Where he killed the counterspy. But, Dave, we fine-tooth combed that place at the time.
This time we won't be looking for a clue in the ordinary sense, Peters, but some new clue to his character. We'll have to learn about the man from that old house.
Back to Counterspy in just a moment. But first,
Pepsi-Cola, hit the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lots more value, lots more zest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
more and more among fellows and girls, among mothers and dads, you hear that sane and sensible question, why take less when Pepsi's best? No budget, no allowance ever had a better friend than tangy, sparkling Pepsi-Cola. Because one big 12-ounce Pepsi bottle gives you 2 delicious drinks. That's twice as much tangy taste, twice as much delicious Pepsi to go just twice as far. That's why more and more families say, why take less when Pepsi's best? Yes, families like yours and mine, families all over America, they're all saying, why take less when Pepsi's best?
Pepsi-Cola, hit the spot. Tastes terrific when you're hot. More and better than the rest. Why take less when Pepsi's best?
Today, tomorrow, always. Get America's biggest cola value. Take home a carton of 6 big Pepsi bottles. Insist on Pepsi at the store. And say Pepsi at the fountain. Say Pepsi at the stand. Say Pepsi. Whenever you reach for refreshment, remember,
why take less when Pepsi's best?
And now, back to Counterspy. An eerie, stormy night at the former hideout of Professor Horn in Illinois.
Dave, this old house is the best locale for a murder I've seen in years.
It was the locale of a murder, Peter. The stain of Agent Cameron's blood still there in the cut.
I know. That's thunder. This musty, creepy old place. I'd hate to spend a night here alone.
I'll control your imagination, Peters. Let's stick to facts.
Gladly. Have we got any?
Well, I've been here in the study looking through some of these scientific books Horn left behind. Check with me and see if I make sense. All right. A book on physics, stresses and strains. Take this page.
Little drawings, sort of doodles in the margin.
Scribbled probably while he was thinking over, digesting what he was reading.
Sketchy little drawings, aren't they? Unfinished.
Almost absent-minded. There's some on almost every page. See? I'll take another book at random. This one on biochemistry.
Nothing 8th grade about these books, is there?
Now, see this page?
More drawings of the same kind.
It's true of a dozen more of these volumes I've leafed through.
And Horn's a doodler.
A scientific doodler.
Well, Dave, how can we use the fact that it's a characteristic of Horn's to doodle in scientific books?
Well, Horn has this scholarly side to him. Now, wouldn't you think that everywhere he goes he'd want to consult scientific works?
But where could he, except in libraries?
Exactly.
To be more exact, scientific libraries.
Right. Now, first we'll check through all these books. We may find various definite types of doodles that occur over and over. We'll make photostatic copies and send a set to every library in the country.
But, Dave, this will mean asking librarians to watch all their readers. They're not trained for that
Well,
work.
all library books are inspected every so often, Peters. The only tiny clue we need may be hidden this very moment in some library. If we only knew where. And if we only knew where Horn is now.
Okay, fella. Come on.
Thank you, stranger. These desert flats are mighty lonely. Not many cars coming through. I'm glad you came along. Especially since I see you're, just about my size.
What?
Get out of the car.
Oh, stick up, huh? Okay.
I guess very well about your size, mister. Your suit will, suit me very well.
My suit? I'd rather you took my money.
I can always get money when I want it, Mr. What's your name?
Blake. Jack Special Delivery Blake.
The professional football player? What a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Blake. Take off your suit, please. Hey, but the next bullet won't go into the ground, Mr. Blake. It'll go into you.
Okay, tough guy. There you are.
Jacket, throw it into the car, please. Now the trousers. I'll need the shoes, too, please, Mr. Blake. And, of course, your car.
Hey, look, I'll die out in this desert in the sun.
True. We must be 20 miles from water.
Oh, be a sport, will you? Give me some kind of a chance.
A chance? Very well, Mr. Blake. We'll play a little game of my invention. Just remain there beside the road, Mr. Blake. Now, Mr. Blake, you start running. I'm going to try to run you down with your own car. If I don't get you in 1 minute or less, you'll be perfectly free.
I can't outrun an automobile.
Oh, you forget your Special Delivery Blake, the best broken field runner in football. Start running, Mr. Blake. Any direction. I'll even give you a little head start. Good. Now, here I come. A nice turn, Mr. Blake. Just missed you. Keep on running. Too bad, Mr. Blake. Only 10 seconds more and you'd still be alive. But then I wouldn't have had your clothes and your car, would I?
Notice it, Peter? What? I've got the 5 books Horn used on some 8 visits to the San Francisco Scientific Library, but the drawings don't seem the same.
It may not be our man.
I think it is. The characteristics are here. The little drawings are more definite and finished.
As if he had a definite plan.
It's a volume on explosives. Yeah. Page 287. Dealing with liquid explosives.
The drawings look something like bottles.
And a notation, 32 ounces.
That means 32-ounce bottles, maybe, but why bottles?
Well, bottles are an innocent way of carrying liquid explosives, aren't they?
A little bank vault, perhaps.
But there are no books here about vaults or electronic protection devices.
Here's a book on the scientific preservation of works of art. Paintings.
No, I haven't got to that one yet.
There's something there. Huh? Drawings on 2 different pages.
Pages where the locations of famous paintings are listed. It's an unusual interest for Horn. By George.
What?
Little drawings that might
might represent explosions.
Look where they are. Right next to the listing of 4 different paintings kept here in San Francisco.
Suppose Horn were planning to steal them, preserve them in good condition scientifically, and sell them later in secret.
It says here these paintings are insured for $250,000 each. Any one of them would be a good haul.
Unless some of these paintings are kept in vaults.
They might be.
And that's where his liquid explosives would come in. No doubt there are watchmen to be taken care of.
The explosives might serve 2 purposes, Dave.
Kill the watchman and blow open the vault, yeah. But why pick quart bottles to carry the stuff in? Anyway, we'll check these museums about their storage vaults. See if we can't narrow the field. For the watchman, Peters, that's your special assignment.
What's that, sir? You're the night watchman here at the art center?
Yes, I am, sir.
I didn't see you sitting there in the shadows.
Me feet after needing a bit of a rest from walking the post.
A lonely job,
That it is. The museum being off by itself this way. And creepy, too, with the cemetery yonder beside the church.
I happen to have a couple of bottles of wine here, this package. Could I offer you a drink?
You could.
Only, might not be wise for you to be taking a bottle here outdoors.
There's never nobody to see.
Well, I'm sure it'd be better inside. Maybe down in the cellar where it'd be warm. We'll drink a friendly toast to art.
But if you're bound to give me a drink, I don't mind the first one right here.
Very well. Try this Oporto from Spain. It's a dark, heavy wine. Here you are.
Thank you. And mighty fine it is, too.
Shall we go inside now?
What kind of wine would that other bottle be now?
I'll show you inside.
Let me see.
Oh, very well. It's a light white wine.
Well, now that's more like it. Might I read the label?
Oh, I must say, you can take my word.
I'd like to know what it is I'll be drinking. I only want to look at the label.
If you insist.
Yeah. Thank you. Tip Top Valley Sauterne. Bottled by Tip Top Valley Winery Incorporated. Now, I wonder if this bottle would bounce.
You brought it! You wanted me to drink some wine that blows up. You fool, you! Let go my arm. Take it easy, Horn. We got... No. Okay, now, Dave.
All right, Horn. You're not blowing open any vaults tonight with explosive wine.
Howdy. I'd like to know how you caught on.
I'll be glad to tell you, and I'll also tell you that we know where you got that suit you have on. You murdered Jack Blake in the desert 2 weeks ago. I'll be glad to tell you a lot of things, Horn, including this. You're not going to cheat the executioner again.
When your friends drop in, be generous, but be thrifty, too. Serve plenty of delicious Pepsi-Cola. Pepsi's big 12-ounce bottle gives you not just one sparkling glassful, but 2. Get a carton of 6 and serve 12 delicious drinks. Yes, Pepsi is America's biggest cola value. You get twice the tangy taste, twice the refreshment, twice the Pepsi. So why take less when Pepsi's best? Whenever you reach for refreshment, Remember,
Pepsi-Cola, hit the spot. 2 full glasses, that's a lot. Lot more value, lot more zest. Why take less when Pepsi fits?
tune in every Tuesday and Thursday, same time, same station to Counterspy. Listen next Tuesday for the exciting Counterspy case of the arrogant arsonist.
When an international combine was threatened with exposure, the secret owner hired an operator to erase certain files with kerosene globules. How this incident forced certain Counterspy agents to act as Cupids in reverse will be exposed on our next broadcast. Be sure to tune in next Tuesday for Case of the Arrogant Arsonist on Counterspy. Tonight's Counterspy program originated in New York, was directed by William M. Sweets, and featured Don McLaughlin and Mandel Kramer, with music by Jesse Crawford. Counterspy is a Phillips H. Lord production for Pepsi-Cola. Enjoy some Pepsi, ice cold tonight.